Hello from WP Roads, my name is Pascal, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you a step-by-step guide to configure the free version of Math SEO Plugin to optimize your WordPress website and start ranking and be found on Google and other search engines, of course. Following this video, you're going to learn how to set up all your WordPress website SEO basics. As you will see, RankMath makes it very easy for you to fill all the metadata that Google needs to know about your website, to start indexing your pages, posts, and most of all, to start showing your content the right way to the right people. As always, you will find the video timestamps in the description box down below, and you can use them to jump quickly and easily to the parts of the video that you're most interested in. But if you're starting from scratch, I highly recommend you to watch the video from the beginning till the end. Let's have a look now to the structure of this tutorial. 10 steps. In the first step, we will just check some technical SEO settings. We will then set up your free RankMath account. In the third step, we will install RankMath and launch the setup wizard to set up the basic features of RankMath together. In the fourth step, we will become familiar with RankMath modules. In the fifth part of the tutorial, we will then go through all the RankMath general settings. Then we'll go through all the RankMath titles and meta. In the seventh step, we will see how RankMath creates automatically for you an XML sitemap and connects it to Google Search Console. And number 8, we'll learn how to monitor all the 404 errors on your website and how to set up custom redirections. We'll then dive deep into the optimization of your website homepage. We will finish then this tutorial with the 10th step, optimizing a blog post by setting up some focus keywords and try to rank in the first page of Google search results. So, if now you're ready to start, just grab a cup of coffee, of tea, or of anything you drink when you work or when you follow tutorials, and let's get started! Before starting, there are some technical SEO stuff that you need to check, and you need to be sure that you have correctly set up before diving deeper into the RankMath configuration. The first thing to check is to have an SSL connection, so be sure that your website is running on https and that when you are in your browser and you type here into this icon, you will see that there is a secure lock connection that says that your connection is secure. This is very, very important. And when you open your link, you should see https :/ and so on. So the https should be the starting of your URL. This is very, very important. If you do not see this, and if you, for some reason, you see connection not secure, this is something you want to resolve immediately. And I will suggest you to reach out to your hosting company and ask them to enable your SSL connection. So if you want to be sure to have a free SSL when you install WordPress on your hosting, I have a full tutorial about Hostinger, which is personally one of my favorite hosting companies at the moment. It is very affordable and it has also a premium service, which is very, very generous and powerful. So if you want to host your website on a good hosting service, just go on with Hostinger. I'll leave you in the description below my personal affiliate link and also the link to the tutorial where you can just see how to set up everything with this beautiful hosting service. One other very important option to check out is the settings and permalink structure. So you go on settings, permalinks, and you have to verify here to select the post name. This is very, very important because it makes your URLs more readable for you, for human beings, for users, for your visitors, and most of all also for Google and other search engines. Of course, if you already have an index website and you had another structure, let's say this one, you should also be very, very careful, because if you change this and Google has already indexed all your pages, you need to set up a very, very in-depth redirection setup for all your pages and posts and custom post types and products and all the different stuff that are present into your website. So be careful here if you have already an index website, but if you're just starting out from scratch, just use the post name because it's the best one. Save changes. And now the last thing to be careful of is to go on settings, reading, and be sure that you have unchecked the search engine visibility. So sometimes when you are creating your website from scratch, you go here and you discourage search engines from indexing your website because you just want to be left alone during the website construction. But when you finish building your website, you should go here and uncheck this. So make sure that this is unchecked and save changes. So I repeat, settings, reading, and you scroll down, search engine visibility, uncheck this checkbox. It should be clear. Save changes. Now, to make everything work perfectly, you need to create a free account on RankMath Pro. So you just need to go on the website, rankmath.com, or you can support my work by clicking on my affiliate link before joining the website. So in my case, wproads.com/rankmat. I thank you in advance if you want to click on this link before proceeding with the account registration. So into the My Account tab you see here, you can click on Register Now right here. If you already have an account, you just need to log in here to be sure that later on you will be connected with the right account on your website. So let's click on Register Now. And here I will create my account. My name is Pascal, voila. And here my email will be this one, pascal@wproads.com. Perfect. I select here by continuing, you agree that you will receive emails from us, which you can opt out at any time, okay? And I agree to terms and conditions, cookie policy and privacy policy. I click on register and I'm creating my free RankMath account. Perfect. Thanks for trying out RankMath. We have sent your login details to your email address, pascal@wproads.com. Let's go and search for them. Perfect. Here you see we have some quick links, and most of all we have our username and our passwords. I can click on login right here and I will be directly logged into my account. Okay, so here we have a dashboard. If you already have a premium version of RankMath, you will see it here and you will be able to download it if you want. And then you will see the connected websites. As you can see here, I do not have any connected websites. Now let's go into our WordPress dashboard. Let's go and click on plugins, add new plugin, and we simply search for RankMath here. Okay, this is the one. If you already have a premium version of RankMath, you do not need to install this one, but you simply go to your RankMath account, you download the premium version, and then you go back here and you click on Upload Plugin and you upload your premium version. But if you do not have the premium version, you simply search for RankMath and you install it directly from here. Let's activate the plugin. And the first time that you activate the plugin, you might see a screen like this one, Connect Free Account, in which RankMath asks you to connect your account. So if you click on this button right here, you will see a screen like this one. Since we already created a free account on RankMath, you will see this screen and you will be able to click on OK, Activate Now. If you didn't create a free account, or if you see that the account in which you are logged in is not the right one, you can click on Login here and you will be redirected to the login screen where you will be able to log into your correct RankMath account. If you have problems connecting your RankMath account, you can always go onto your dashboard. Now we see that there is this RankMath item right here. We can go into the dashboard, we can click on Help, and we see that here we can click on this button to connect our account. Okay, in my case, this is the right account that I want to connect to my RankMath installation. So I click on OK, Activate Now. And now you see account connected. Perfect. If I wanted to disconnect the account and connect to another one, I just click on Disconnect Account. And when I click on Connect Now, I can simply go and log in here and change the account. I will leave this one in my case. Perfect. So when you go back to your account on RankMath, you go and click on Websites. You will see that your website is now connected to your account. Great. Once you proceed and connect your free RankMath account, you will see a screen like this one, which is the Setup Wizard. If you do not see it, don't worry, because you just need to go into your dashboard, click on RankMath Dashboard, and click on Setup Wizard. As you can see, it's very easy. Okay, now let's start with the general Setup Wizard. So here we have three different solutions. We can choose the easy steps, the advanced steps, or the custom mode, but this is available only if you have the pro version. So let's see the advanced one. It's the best one to start, and we can click on Start Wizard. Now keep in mind that all the options that you see here in the Setup Wizard, they will be also available in the RankMath settings that we will also see in depth in the next steps of the tutorial. So don't worry if there are some things here that you can't do immediately, because we will go back on the settings also in the next steps of the video. So this is the first part where we can just kind of have a quick setup of some important settings, but we will also see them later on. And of course, you can come back here if you want to rewatch this part of the video if it's necessary for you. So here we have the Your Site settings. We can click down here, we can scroll down here, and we can see that we have to choose the type of business here. If we are setting up RankMath for a personal blog, we can simply choose personal blog, and it's quite easy. If we are a community, a personal portfolio, if we have a small business, if we have a web shop, we just can select here. And if you select a business website, normally you will be asked also to indicate here the business type. For example, here in my case, it's educational organization because I provide tutorials and content about WordPress in this case. But if you cannot find the type of business for your business, you can simply leave it on organization. This is quite good like this. Okay, when you scroll down here, it's very important to put inside here the website name, so the name that people use to search for your website. In my case, this one is WP Roads. And here to the website alternate name, you should use the same name of your website. In this case, I use the WP Roads. This is because if you put it here into the website name and into the website alternate name, you will be sure that Google will be displaying your correct website title even here in the search results snippets. And in my case here, it hasn't been updated yet. You see here, Google is displaying the logo of my website, okay, but the title of the website is still as the URL you see here. And I don't want this to happen because I just want this to appear there as the title of my website. And so I will suggest you to use the same title here and here, because this can help Google know that you want this kind of title to be displayed in search results. And I've also read this tip in the Facebook group of Rank Math, and there was someone from the Rank Math team suggesting to do so if you want to tell Google to update this kind of title of the website into the search results snippets. And by the way, this is a rich snippet that is appearing thanks to Rank Math, so that's great. And I have just configured Rank Math a couple of days ago when I was recording this tutorial, and you will see how you can just switch from a result like this one. When someone types the name of your website, you see WP Roads, this was the result about a couple of days ago. And then after installing Rank Math and optimizing all the pages, you see here I have the beautiful title and excerpt. I have also some quick links to my internal pages, and that's great. That's a rich snippet, and I obtained it just by optimizing and setting up Rank Math on my website. This is great. So I hope that you too will obtain something like this when you finish this tutorial. Let's go on. And down here you have to choose the name of the person or organization. So you can either put the name of your brand or you can add your personal name, depends of the kind of business that you are running. In my case, I want to show here also my name and together with the name of the brand, so Pascal WP Roads. Okay, here we have the logo for Google, and keep in mind that this is the logo that Rank Math will, will communicate to Google when Google will crawl your website to tell Google that that's the logo of your business. And Google will choose if it wants to eventually use it for the knowledge graph. And the knowledge graph is something like this. You see here when you type the name of a business and you type, for example, about, or you want to know more about a business or a city or a country or anything, Google generates automatically a knowledge graph like the one that you're seeing here on the right side of the page right here. And basically it displays some important information about your business. And all the information that we are providing right here, they can be used actually in the knowledge graph generated by Google. So maybe in 1 year or in 12 months, which is the same by the way, or in a couple of months, I don't know, when I will type in WP Roads about, I will also have a knowledge graph like this one, displaying a description of my business and so on. I will show you later on during the tutorial also how you can optimize even further all the things that you can do to try to obtain a knowledge graph like this. But going back to our logo here, the logo that we will upload here is just a logo that Google can use if it wants to generate an open graph about our business. So you see here PayPal, and this is the logo that PayPal has submitted as the open graph logo. And basically this is the same that will happen when we will upload here our logo. So I want this logo to be used as the logo that will represent my business. So I will leave it here in this case. And then down here we have the default social share image. This is very important, and this will be a fallback image because it will work as a fallback if a page or a post or a product on your website would not have a featured image. So if you are not adding a feature image to all the pages and all the posts and all the products of your website, and you want to be sure that there will be an image appearing when people will share your website on the web, you have to set up a default social share image. I strongly suggest you to do so. In my case, you see here is a general image that speaks about my business, and so I will be sure that even if I have some pages on my website that have no featured image, for example, if I go on pages here and I select, for example, the home page, and I see that I forgot here to set up a featured image. And what happens now? If I do not set up a global featured image like this one, I will see simply a link without an image, which is quite not nice when I share it on Facebook or on Twitter or any other social media. While if I set up a card like this one, a social media image like this one, you see here, I share my homepage, and even if I do not have a featured image, I see my social media image fallback, which is this one, which is great because if you do not have an image for every pages, you will still be able to show a beautiful image about your website and your brand. So it's very important to set up this one. Let's click on Save and Continue now. And here in the next step, you have to connect to your Google services and to your Google account. This is a very important step because you can retrieve many data from Google Analytics if you already have an account, and from Google Search Console. Google Search Console is, in my opinion, the most important connection that you have to do in this phase here of this setup wizard, because if you connect correctly to Google Search Console, you will be able to, Rank Math will be able to submit automatically your website sitemap to Google, which is a very important step, and you do not have to worry about it if you connect with the Search Console in this phase. And most of all, you will be able also to see many data of the SEO performance of your website directly into your WordPress dashboard, into the Rank Math dashboard. So this is great, and we will also see it later on during the tutorial. And let's click on Connect Google Services. Okay, let's select the account that we want to associate with Rank Math. In my case, this is the Google account that I will use. And here I click on Continue. Here you can choose which kind of permissions you want to give to Rank Math in order to be able to use all the features that Rank Math will provide you. In my case here, the Edit Google Analytics Management Entities, of course, I want Rank Math to do it for me, and to connect, of course, my Google Analytics account. In this case, if I select this, Rank Math will also be able to create an account for me if I do not have one, and to connect it with my Rank Math account. Here I can go on by providing also the permission to see and download my Google Analytics data, of course. I can go on here by selecting also the Search Console data, and here the Manage the list of sites and domains I control. This is also regarding Search Console. Okay, so all these permissions that we are given to Rank Math will allow Rank Math to give us a lot of important data inside our Rank Math dashboard, and most of all to generate a sitemap and to submit it and verify it to the Google Search Console, which is very, very important. So this is great. If you do not want to use Google Analytics, of course, you can uncheck this, and Rank Math won't access your Google Analytics and won't create a Google Analytics account. And in my case, I will just leave it enabled because I want to test it and see how it works. And then all this other stuff, you need to keep them enabled. You click now on Continue here. Okay. And now Rank Math is connected to Google Services. This is perfect, and here in a few seconds you will see that Rank Math will create for you an account, and it will connect your website to the Google Search Console, and it will also verify it, and later on it will also submit automatically the sitemap of your website to Google Search Console. This is great. You will also see some important data from Google Search Console, like search impressions and many other stuff, directly into your Rank Math dashboard. You will see down here the same happens for Google Analytics. You will have a new account created for you. If it's not the case, you can create one for free on the Google Analytics website. And once you have created this account for free, you will be able to see it right here, to select it and to select the property, and also to tell Rank Math to install the analytics code and to exclude, for example, logged in users if you have a membership website, or if you do not want to track your own visits as an administrator of the website, for example. If you have the premium version, you can also anonymize the IP address, which means that you are not gathering some personal information about your website visitors. This is great for GDPR and to be sure to be compliant in places like Europe, for example, if your traffic comes from there. And this is great. If you do not want to use Google Analytics, of course, you uncheck the boxes in the previous step, and you can also decide to not to install the analytics code. Unless you install it like this or in a different way, you won't be able to see the Google Analytics data into your Rank Math dashboard, of course. But in my case, I want to enable this just to see how it will work in the back end. And don't worry if you see these spots here red, because this is not important. Once you have save this step, they will become green, so don't worry. Down here you have also the email reports, which are just basically email reports about an overview of your website search performance during the month, and you will save and continue. Let's go on. Perfect. Now if you go back one step, you will see that the dots will become green normally, so don't worry. And of course, keep in mind that also in the next steps of the tutorial, I will show you how you can access these settings here, and just if you want to change something, tweak around stuff, you will be able to do it not only here in the setup wizard, but also in the rank math settings later on. I will show you how to do so. Of course, if you want to reconnect or disconnect or test your connections, you can always choose to use these quick links, which are very helpful. Let's go on now with the next step. And here we are to the sitemap settings. Of course, here you have just some basic settings, and we will see later on during the video the rest of the settings of the sitemap, which are pretty advanced. But in this case, just leave it like this. I will suggest you here to enable, of course, the XML sitemap, which is generated automatically by RankMath, and basically it will tell Google the structure of your whole website, including all the posts, pages, categories, and all the content that Google should know about your website and should index. So of course, here you can also decide if you want to include images in this sitemap, and if you do so, basically Google will know which images are associated with your pages, posts, and categories, and it will eventually show them in search results if they are pertinent to the users' searches. So in my case, images are very important because they are kind of describing and supporting the content of my posts and my articles. And in your case, if your website is about something that could benefit about important images that are describing the content of your posts, of your products, and so on, it's best practice to leave this enabled. If your images will just be images with a decorative functionality, so just random images that you pick up just to support a little bit your content, but nothing important, you can also disable this. But in general, it's better to enable this and to include images into our sitemap. Down here, we can choose if we want to include in the public post types the posts, pages, landing pages, resources, and based on the kind of custom post types or plugins that you have installed on your website, you can see here any other kind of custom post types. For example, you can see products or any other kind of stuff. In my case, I have landing pages and resources, but since these are kind of content that I will share in a private way, or anyway in campaigns and in some kind of stuff that do not need to be indexed, I will just need to index my posts and my pages, which are just the basic kind of content on my website in my case. So here, be careful to select just the kind of content that you want Google to know about and to index. And down here the same. In public taxonomies, in my case, I just want to index the category pages, which will be the categories of my blog content. So for example, WordPress tutorials, Elementor tutorials, and so on. So I just want to index my category pages, and I do not want to index all the other kind of categories and taxonomies because they are just internal use taxonomies, so I do not need to show them on Google, of course. Here, once you have finished, you can click on Save and Continue. And we can go on now by adding some SEO tweaks. Perfect. The first one is no index, empty category and tag archives. I'll show you what this means. It's very easy. If you go on your blog, sometimes you have just created some categories, but you're not yet ready to use them, or they just need to be there, but you're not filling content in that category. Let me show you here a quick example. This is an example of an empty category on my blog, and I do not want this category to be indexed. So RankMath has an automatic option here that will place these empty categories with a no index tag, which basically it says to Google to no index that pages, which is great. So leave this enabled. Down here we have two other important options. The first one is no follow external links, and this is a tricky option. I do not suggest you to enable this unless you really want to obtain this kind of setup, because here you're basically telling Google that all the links, the external links of your pages and posts, they are no follow links. What does it mean? It means that you are not passing link juice or link authority to the websites that you are linking to. For example, if I have an article where I talk about Elementor and I am linking to the elementor.com website, if Google finds that these links are no follow links, it basically will receive the information that I do not want to pass credit onto the Elementor website in my case. While if you disable this, each external link that you place into your content will basically tell Google that you are kind of passing some authority to the website that you are linking to. So basically you are kind of helping the website to rank better. And this is also a double sense, if you can say like this, synergy, because when you link an external website, which is a website that has already some authority, like for example Elementor.com, in my case also my own blog will receive kind of a small authority part to be because he is linking the blog. My blog is linking to an authoritative website, which is Elementor.com. So anyway, here I suggest you to disable this option and to leave it like this, because when you link external links to external resources, it's always a good practice, of course, to pass some link credit, because you're also getting some credit back in some ways. So this is quite a tricky thing to understand at the beginning, but just follow me and keep this disabled because it's better. Unless you really want to adopt another strategy, and so you enable this. Down here you have open external links into a new tab. This is very important because when people are onto your blog and they're going to visit a kind of an external link, for example here I have the Elementor Pro link to the Elementor website. Of course you do not want people to escape your website, so they kind of need to open this link into a separate window, you see here. So your website still stays open in a tab, but the other tab opens the new website. This is the best practice, and so this kind of set up this automatically for you so that you do not have to think about it. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't work, so I just suggest you to leave it enabled and then to check each link of your blog post and of your pages when they are external links. Just check if they really open into a new tab, or if you have to just manually set up that kind of behavior. Down in the post here, for example, here to be sure that all the links will open in a new tab, I will also enable this setting right here into Gutenberg in my case, but you have the same setting in Divi, in Elementor, and in many other page builders, of course. So basically here are the SEO tweaks. We click on save and continue now, and your site is ready. Of course this is not true, because yes, we are ready, but we are just at the beginning of this tutorial and we have still many steps to do before ranking on Google and before being indexed correctly by Google. So now, instead of clicking on to return out to dashboard or proceed to the help page, we just click on set up advanced option, which is very important. So we click here and we can, if you want here, we can enable the role manager, which is just a simple way to enable kind of management of different user roles. So if you have some collaborators or teammates that are accessing your website and helping you creating some content, like editors, authors, and so on, you can decide which kind of author, which kind of role can access the different rank math options and settings you see here. So basically here you can distribute your teammates' work by giving them access to different kind of parts of Rank Math plugin. Here I can disable this because I do not need it right now, and I click on save and continue. Okay, the 404 and the redirection options are very important, so be sure here to enable both of them. The 404 monitor basically lets you know when on your website there will be some broken links, so some pages that are no more working because you changed them, for example, or because you shared them and then you changed the URL, and there are many reasons to receive 404 errors, and anyway it's the best practice to monitor them and to know what's happening exactly on your website when visitors run into this kind of errors. Down here you can also enable redirections. This is a setting of Rank Math that lets you redirect old broken link pages to new pages that are now working and correctly showing up. So this is very important, and we will see both of them in depth during the next steps of the video. So be sure to enable both of them. And now let's click on save and continue. Okay, here we have the Schema Markup. This basically is kind of a code that Rank Math enables for you automatically, and that it will apply to your pages, posts, and custom post types. Here, if you enable the schema type, you will see that you can choose the schema type for your posts, pages, or products, or any other custom post type that you have on your website. And in my case, for my posts, since my posts, they will all have a video attached to them, and they're kind of the video is kind of a central part of my post, I will use the video the video schema, which will provide me with some important information about the video that I embed on my blog post. And if I go then into the Rank Math settings, I see that under the schema, the video will be automatically applied. You see here, and I can click on the video schema markup and I can insert some important information about my videos here, the embed URL, the duration of the video, and many other information if I'm using Rank Math Pro. And this basically will tell Google some important info about the content of my blog post in my case. So you can choose between many different schema markup. If you're publishing book reviews or courses or event or job posting or music reviews or music production or products or recipes and so on, you can basically choose many kind of different schema. And in my case, I will leave video. Schema type for pages, I will suggest you to leave it on article. And when you choose article, you have to choose also the article type. And if you have a simple blog, of course, you have to choose article even for your posts, of course. So where is article here? Article, the first one. And if you are an organization, so your website represents a business, you should type into article. If your website is just a personal website and you are writing as a personal author, you should choose blog post. Of course, in my case, I'm publishing as a business, so I will leave it in video here, the first one, and down here in the pages, I will leave them on article. If your website publishes news, so you are publishing kind of news about topics or about news about everyday news, you should choose, of course, the news article. In my case, I will leave the article also for simple pages, and then down here I can choose also the schema markup for any other custom post types that are on my website. Now, these two kind of post types, I do not want them to be in my sitemap and I do not want them to be indexed, so I do not need to have a schema markup. Let's click now on save and continue. And voila, basically we did it. We just finished the Rank Math setup wizard. Okay, now that we have finished the Rank Math setup wizard, let's go and explore all the modules that we can enable or disable if we need or not need some features about Rank Math. So you can go on Rank Math SEO here, you click on dashboard, and be careful here to the upper right side of the screen to select the advanced mode of Rank Math, which is very important. Otherwise, if you select the easy mode, you won't see all the modules. So let's click on advanced mode, and now let's see what all these modules are about. The first one is the Content AI. This is just another Rank Math product that provides you with some important features if you want to have an AI assistant that will help you generate and create beautiful blog posts, but this is a separate product. So if you want me to show this kind of content into another tutorial, just drop me a line into the comment section below. You can enable or disable this. If you have a premium version of Rank Math, I believe that you have some credits of Content AI included, so you can enable this and just play around. Once you enable some modules, you will see that the relative option here will appear into the drop-down menu under the Rank Math SEO settings. You see here, Content AI is now available, but in my case, I will leave it disabled. The second module here is the 404 monitor. I strongly suggest you here to enable this, and as you can see here, I will have the option here appearing in the drop-down menu under Rank Math SEO, okay? And we will see that one later on, of course, during the tutorial. Here we're just enabling and disabling what we will need. And you can also quickly access the settings right here. Then you have the ACF. If you're using ACF on your website, you need to enable this because it will kind of integrate more deeply Rank Math with ACF, kind of helping Rank Math recognize all your advanced custom fields and so on. So this is very important to enable if you're using ACF. Otherwise, you can leave it disabled, of course. If you're using the AMP plugin, you can enable this, but we are not using this and we are not talking about this in this tutorial. The analytics module is very, very important. And basically, this is the module that will let you enable this tab here, which is the tab that you can access once you connect the Google account to Rank Math. We saw this in the setup wizard, and this is very important to do because you will kind of be able to retrieve a lot of information from Google Search Console and Google Analytics and to see how your website is performing into the search engines, basically on Google in this case, of course. You will see the site analytics, the SEO performance, you can track some keywords, and you can track your ranking if you're using Rank Math Pro. Okay, now we go on to the dashboard. We scroll down, we see that the Analytics tab is enabled, perfect. The Body Press and the BB Press modules, you just need them if you're using this kind of plugins. In my case, I'm not using them. The Image SEO is a very important module that will let you enable some advanced features for your image SEO optimization, like generating automatically the alt text and the description of your images, for example. The instant indexing, so this one basically leave it enabled. The instant indexing is interesting because it's an advanced settings that will let you ping the search engine as such as Bing and Yandex to let them know each time you publish a new content or you update some content on your website. This is very, very, very useful. Then you have the link counter. And this basically tells you how many links, internal and external links, are attached to each of your pages or posts. This is very important. Then you have the local SEO. Even if you're not working as a local business, so with a physical address or with a physical store or with a physical location in general, you need this to be enabled if you want to have a knowledge graph. The knowledge graph, we just saw it before during the setup wizard, and it's just kind of stuff that appears when you type inside the name of a business and you type about, for example, or when you type the name of a city, for example, New York City. And basically the stuff that you see here in this kind of square to the right side of the page, this is a knowledge graph, which just contains some information about your business or a city or a country or a topic in general. And if your website is correctly set up, you can basically tell Google to show this knowledge graph if Google wants to do so, of course, because it's always up to Google to choose if he wants to show the knowledge graph or not. But if you set up everything correctly, you will be able to do so. And to do so, you just need to enable this local SEO module. So the open graph here, if I type in PayPal about or any other business and I type about, it will most likely appear here the knowledge graph. This is the knowledge graph. You see with the logo of the business, the name of the business, some information about the business here that are provided, and some other information, customer service number, stock price, founders, CEO, and etc. etc. And you can basically tell Google a lot of this information when you set up correctly the local SEO module on Rank Math, and we will see it later on during the tutorial. So leave this enabled, which is very important. If you're publishing news on your website, you need the pro version of Rank Math, and you can enable also this module. Same for podcasts. And redirections, this is very important, so be careful and leave it enabled. We will see later on how to set up this kind of redirections when you need them, because often there are some broken links on your website and you need to redirect the old broken links to the new ones. Then we have the schema structured data, and keep this enabled because it's very important. It will provide you some advanced information to try to obtain some rich snippets. And basically rich snippets are all about stuff like this. For example, pizza recipe. And this is a rich snippet. You see, there is an image, there is a rating here, there is a number of reviews, and there is also the time, the preparation time. So this is about recipes, for example. Here you also have something else. Let me show you. For example, you have the number of ingredients, you see. And so basically here you have, oh, this is annoying. You have 16 ingredients, you have the preparation time, and down here you have always the votes and so on. Yes, basically all these are advanced schema, rich snippets, sorry. So if you want to obtain also the rich snippets for your kind of content, if you're publishing recipes, videos, or even a simple blog post, you want to enable the schema structured data. This is very, very powerful and very important. Most of the schema is taken care, Rank Math has taken care of it automatically, so you do not need to fill any strange codes or data. And you will also have many advanced features if you're using Rank Math Pro. So leave this enabled. We'll scroll down here. If you want to have the role manager active, you can enable this here. And as always, once you enable this here, you will see the relative option appearing here, popping up here in the menu of Rank Math. In my case, I will leave it disabled. The SEO Analyzer, it's a quick and easy tool that you can enable to analyze your website. We will see it quickly later on during the video, and so leave it enabled. The sitemap feature is very, very, very useful and important, is kind of crucial for your website SEO, so leave it as enabled. The video sitemap, unfortunately, in my case, it's just available for the pro version, so I will leave it disabled. And if I scroll down here, I have the Google Web Stories, which is not interesting for me right now, and the WooCommerce module. If you're using WooCommerce on your website and you're selling products, you want to enable this. This is very, very important. So enable this and just proceed with the next steps. Remember that many of these modules are just for the pro version, but even some modules that are enabled for the free version, when you enable the pro version, you will have many more features available, of course. So we're ready now to dive deeper into the general settings, titles and meta, and many other interesting stuff to set up Rank Math. Okay, so now you've just done the basic stuff, so we will just need to dive deeper into the Rank Math general settings. It is quite tricky sometimes. You have some tricky information settings and stuff that maybe you're not used or familiar to if you're not an SEO expert, but don't worry, because I will guide you step by step, and of course you will always have the Rank Math documentation at your side, which is pretty well done and I love it personally. So let's dive in. We will start now our settings, going to General Settings here. So we go to Rank Math SEO and General Settings. And from this tab, we will be able to configure a lot of general stuff, which is very important for your SEO. Here in the Links tab, we can find some important information and some very delicate settings. You see here, you can strip, the first option here is to strip category base. Okay, in general, when you do not know how, if you want to do something or not, you have to click here on the link. All these links brings you to the documentation, to the Rank Math knowledge base, which is very well done, and you can go here each time you do not know if you have to do or not a setting on your website. In this case, this is a very simple setting. As you can see here, it simple strips away the category from the URL. You see here this sentence, it cleans the URL like this. Let me show you an example. For example, here in my blog categories, I go to my posts categories, and as you see here, I have a few categories, and if I go and try to visit them, the link, the URL, it has no category inside. So this is happening because I'm using this Rank Math option, while if I was not using it, I will see my URL this way, category / name of the category. So basically this is just a way to simplify your URL structure, but keep in mind that if you already have a website that is indexed and you are indexing your website using the classic category URL, you have to be careful because you have to simply create some redirection from the old structure of the URL to the new one. We will see how redirection works later on during the tutorial, so if you want to do so, you can you have all the information to do it. So this one, be careful if it is just for you the beginning of the website creation, or the website is not yet indexed by Google, you can basically do it without any problem. If your website is already indexed and all your category pages are already indexed, you have to be careful and to place some redirection from the old URL to the new one like this. You see? Okay, so this is also well explained into the documentation, so if you need to dive deeper, you can do it by reading it. And then what happens? Make sure to check also in your permalink settings to select the permalink structure to post name. Of course, all these settings that are, to manage your URLs are very delicate, and best practice is to do it before publishing your website, of course. So be sure to choose here the post name structure, which is the most common in nowadays, and it's the best one for SEO in general. And be sure also here to check. You do not need to put inside here anything, because Rank Math is stripping away the category base if you have enabled this setting here. And otherwise you can change the category and tag base right here if you want to do so. But in my case, it's perfect because I will leave it stripped category base like this. Okay. Of course, it's important to know that this is not a vital option, so it's just more than a kind of visual option that you can use to structure your URLs. And if you use a lot your categories, it's good to have them simplified like this. So Just choose if it is the option right for your website. Here we have the redirect attachments setting, which is very important. So leave this enabled, and what it do is basically redirect all the attachment pages that WordPress generates automatically each time you upload an image or a file, and it will redirect these URLs directly to the post that they appear in. Because each time you upload an image or a file to WordPress media folder, it will create kind of a page like this one, which is called attachment, and that contain that kind of media. For example, in my case here, this image is contained in this weird page right here, and I do not need this page. It's a kind of completely unuseful, and so I just need to redirect this attachment page to the post or the page that will contain this image, of course. So in my case, if I enable this, if I try to visit this kind of attachment pages, I will just land on the pages that will contain the media. And if that kind of media are not contained in any page of my website or in any post of my website, they will land on the home page, because I can set up here the redirect orphan attachments. So basically all the images and files that has no pages, that because they are not included in any page or post on my website, they will be redirected to the home page. This is very important, so keep it like this and enable this like this. Down here we have the nofollow external links. As I explained to you at the beginning of the tutorial, this is a very delicate option, because basically if you enable this, you are telling Google to not give credit to all the websites that you are linking that are external websites to your website. So for example, if in my blog post I link to a page of elementor.com, for example, or to elegantthemes.com, if I enable this option here, I'm just telling Google that I do not want to pass some credit and some link juice to these websites. So I think that this is kind of a massive option that in some cases can be useful and in other cases not, because of course if you pass some credit to the external websites, can also be a good best practice. So just choose if it is something you want or not. I would suggest you not to enable this if you do not know what to do in this case, because it's always good to pass some link juice in the majority of cases, of course. Here, nofollow image file links. If you are using external images and you do not want to pass credit on the links on the websites that are actually hosting that images, you need to enable this option right here. Otherwise you can leave it disabled. And here, this is also a good option. I would suggest you to leave it enabled, because this option will try to analyze all the links that you have in your pages and posts, and will basically make them open in a new tab. So this is a good option. Perfect to leave it enabled. Save changes. Now the second setting here is breadcrumbs, and you can enable this setting here if you want to use this shortcode and place it into your, for example, into your blog post template, or if your theme or a page builder supports Rank Math breadcrumbs, you will find a module that you can insert in your pages or posts. And this can be a very good best practice to enhance the SEO structure of your blog post, for example. Let me show you here a quick example. In this blog post template, I have inserted the breadcrumbs right here, and I can place them, for example, before the post content. Before the title is always a good place to place them. And let's see how you can do so. It's very easy. In this case, for example, let's say that I want to create breadcrumbs in my reviews template. So I go to this Blocksy Pro review, and let's say that I want to enable the breadcrumb right here above the title. I have to go inside the post template in my case, so I go and open the single post template, okay, and I simply change it from here. I simply insert my breadcrumbs. In my case, I see that I do not have breadcrumbs, okay, and I do not have any rank. Okay, I just need to insert the shortcode. So I simply drag and drop my shortcode right here, okay, and I use this shortcode, which is very easy, copy and paste, rank math breadcrumb shortcode, this one, okay, and let's paste it inside here. Now, since I see that there is a spacing down here, I go to the advanced tab, I unlink here, and I place it -30 pixels. And in a very easy way, I've inserted a breadcrumb structure like this. So I save, I go and have a preview, I go to my reviews, I select this one, and if I empty the cache, I will see my breadcrumbs appearing above the title. Great, you see here, this is a very good way to make people know where they are into our website and what is the structure of our blog post, for example. This is the title of the blog post, this is the category in which the blog post is contained, and this is the main page of the website. We can also make sure that we can customize all this breadcrumb structure by simply going back here to the breadcrumbs, and when we enable them, we can choose a different separator here. For example, if I place this one, it will be different and we will see it. We can also choose to have a custom one if you want to. In my case, I will use this one. Or yes, it would be also nice to insert some kind of arrows. For example, let me see if I have one here. This one, for example. Okay, this one is nice. And then we can show or hide the homepage link, which is the link right here. You see, we can show or hide it. We can also show a different homepage label, for example, the title of the website. Okay, then we can change the homepage link, so the link that will land people will be linked to this link here to the homepage. We can change also the prefix. You are here, for example, the archive format. Archives for results for the search results format, the 404 label. These are all elements that will be used if you are using the breadcrumb module and shortcode into this kind of pages, specific pages. In my case, I'm not using it in that pages, but I'm just using it into the single post. And I can also hide the post title, which is this one. Okay. I can also decide to show the categories, or if category is a child, show categories. If category is a child category, show all ancestor categories. Okay, this one makes you able to show multiple categories if you have subcategories, and you can also hide the taxonomy name. In this case, if I had it, it will be hiding this one, which is the taxonomy name. Okay, let's save changes and reload the page here, so you see all the changes will be enabled. Let's purge all. Oh, sorry. Let's purge all. Okay, you see, I've inserted the you are here. There is a WP roads, and unfortunately, the character that I'm using to separate all the breadcrumbs is not working. So this one is not working. You see here, wow, it didn't even save. So let's use this one, for example, and let's see if it works correctly. Purge all. Okay, now it works fine. I like it. And instead of using you are here, I can also insert, for example, a different kind of content there. Or I can just leave it blank. For example, in my case, I will leave it blank and save changes. And voila, let's purge all. Okay, so these are my breadcrumbs. Nice, okay. Of course, remember that some themes and some page builders has already an integration with RankMath that allows you to insert breadcrumbs without using the shortcode, or sometimes they even have a function that has breadcrumbs as a native function, as a native setting. So make sure to check if your theme or builder has native breadcrumbs, and simply decide if you want to manage them with RankMath or directly with your team or builder. Now let's go on by exploring the images settings. We have some settings that are about the alt attribute and the title attribute. So the first one, the alt attribute, you can see them both if you go on your media library. So let's open it into another tab here. And basically here, if you select any image of your media library, you will see that all the images has an alt text, which is this one, the alt, and the title. So normally, if you want to optimize all your images for SEO, you need to provide at least a title. The alt text is not mandatory, but in some cases can be useful. So, and it's also the main reason of the alt text is for accessibility in general. So keep in mind these two things, and let's see how these settings work. You see that if you enable the add missing alt attributes, okay, of course, before starting on, in the images setting here, you will see it only if in the dashboard you have enabled the image module, which is rightly this one, image SEO, because if you disable this one, you won't see the settings into your RankMath here. Let's reload it. You see, if you do not enable this module, you do not have the image settings. So let's go back to the dashboard here of RankMath, and let's be sure to enable the image SEO. Okay, I've enabled it right now. I just reloaded the general settings page and I see appearing the images option here. I can enable the alt attribute, and this works like this. It's a very simple way to work. It will give the file name as an alt attribute to all the images of your media library. Okay, in generally, this is not the best practice because maybe sometimes you have a file name which is not describing the image itself or the purpose of the image. But if you are careful and you carefully uploaded all your images with a good title, you can enable this option. Basically, the alt text should describe the content of the image or the purpose of the image. If you did it well, so if you renamed all your image files correctly before uploading them to your media library, this is a good way to proceed. So in my case, I will leave it enabled, and I will make it in this case, the file name become also the alt text. Let me show you an example. If I save changes here and I go back to my media library, let's say the media library, this one, media, okay, and I'll go and visit an image, let's say this one. Okay, you see here there is no alt text, and the title is this one, Pascal WP Rhodes Mint Round, which is a quick description of the content of the image. Okay, so now if I go and visit a page where this image is embedded, I will see that Rank Math will automatically add an alt text, and it will be this one. Let me go and show you how it works. We will go here into the home page of my website, make sure to empty the cache. And as you can see here, there is this image into the home page. If I go and try to inspect it, I will see that in the code into the alt text, there will be the alt text insert correctly. There it is. Alt Pascal WP Rhodes, find your WordPress way. Okay, in my case, it wasn't this image, but it was this image that I was displaying into the home page. And in fact, you see here, the title is Pascal WP Rhodes, find your WordPress way. By the way, if you want to find your WordPress way, make sure to subscribe to my newsletter and to my YouTube channel. So as you saw, this option here, do not add an alt text to your stored images. It won't modify all your stored images, but it will simply add this alt text when the image is present into a page or a post. So this is dynamically applied, as you can see here. So this can be useful in many cases, so I will leave it enabled in my case. And you can do the same with the title of the image. Okay, so when you upload an image, normally this will be the title, and generally speaking, it's taken from the name of the file, even this one, from the, how do you say it? Yes, for the name of the file. And if by any chance you have some images that are missing the title attribute, you can enable this option right here. Generally, when you upload an image to WordPress, it will automatically take the title from the file name. So in general, it will be automatic. But if some cases you will have some images that are missing the title attribute, you will be sure that if you enable this option, they will have a title attribute generate in this way. So here you can choose what should create the title attribute. And I don't know why you have this count title here. We can also get rid of this, and you can leave simply the title. Or if you delete and you want to choose the variable that will generate the title automatically, you can click here in the drop down item and search, for example, for the title. Okay, so in this case, this will be the, okay, okay, the post title. Okay. In this case, this will be the title of the post or the file name of the image. In this case, let me search here for the file name. File name, okay, file name of the attachment. This is the best one. Or let me check if there is something for images. Okay, let's use the file name as before. So we'll have the same here. And this will be taken from the file name of the image, for example. So let's leave it like this and save changes. And of course, remember that two things. The first one is that these options are applied dynamically. So you won't see them into the media library, but you will see it applied in the pages or posts where there are missing titles or alt attributes. And most of all, they will be applied only if there are some images that has not alt attributes and some images that has no title attribute. So this is the case. Perfect. Now, if we go on with the settings, we see that there is this Webmaster Tools tab here, where we can decide to verify our website using different search engines tools. For example, Google Search Console here, but this is done automatically for you by RankMath. If you use the Analytics tab to connect your Google account with RankMath, and we did it in the previous steps, so there won't be any need to verify your Google Search Console profile here, since it's taken in charge by RankMath, which did for you all the heavy lifting of this job. So you won't need to do this if you use the Analytics tab and if you see the green dot right here. Then you can go on, you see that there is also the Bing Webmaster tools that you can connect here and verify. So you can go to this page here and you can proceed by following all the steps that are required to connect and verify your website on Bing. You can do the same with Baidu, with Yandex, with Pinterest, and with Norton Safe Web Verification. You even have here a place where you can insert some custom tags, which are meta tags that are used to verify your website with different kind of search engines and services around the world. Let's go on now by clicking on the edit Robots.txt file. In this case, this file is a virtual file that RankMath generates for you. And if you decide to to edit it from here, you can basically tell the search engines how they should crawl your website. This is a very advanced feature, so keep in mind that you need to edit this only if you really know how to do it and what to do inside here. And also keep in mind that you can dive deeper if you click here on Learn More. And in the documentation here, RankMath explains to you that you are editing a virtual file right here. And if you have an actual Robots.txt file in your installation, in your WordPress installation, this editing here won't take effect, won't be effective. So anyway, this is a very advanced setting, and you should do it only if you really need to edit something very important to you, and if you really know what you are doing. We can go on by clicking on Others here. Now into the Others tab, you can enable the headless CMS support, but in my case, this is not useful, and in the majority of cases, this is not useful. If you're using a headless setup, you should consider this. Down here, you can decide to show the SEO score to visitors. This is not useful because it will just display a simple element into your posts, which will be the SEO score that is calculated by RankMath when you are optimizing your posts and pages for SEO. And so it is not that useful, but if you want to display it, you can do it. And you can choose the aspect. You can choose a circle or square. You can choose where you want to display it. In this case, I will show you a quick example. If you enable posts, for example, you can show it above content, below content, or even using a custom shortcode and placing this score wherever you want in your post or pages. I will leave it in my case above content to show you a quick example. And you can enable the support RankMath with a link. In this case, I will disable this. And I can save changes and quickly show you how this works. I just purge cache, and you will see here, this is the simple score of the website page optimization. In my case, this is a post, and it has 23 on 100 optimization. And this is just the RankMath calculation. If I go inside the post, we will see later on during the tutorial how we can optimize posts and pages using RankMath options. And you will see this is just this RankMath score. So this is just an internal score, and it has nothing to do with your SEO, with your actual website SEO for search engines. So just decide if you want to have this fancy badge in your pages once you reach, for example, 90 or 100% SEO optimization, but it is not that useful, so I will leave it disabled in my case. Let's save changes, okay? Down here you have the RSS before content and after content, and this is just a way that you can use to optimize and customize your RSS feeds if you are using them, or if you want them to be a little bit different than the standard WordPress RSS feeds. Generally speaking, WordPress has a default RSS structure, which is this one. If you go on your website URL and you type in feed after the URL, you will just see the structure of all your RSS feeds, which is this one, and it's automatically created by WordPress. And some websites just go inside here and take some information to make people know when you post new blog posts. Basically, this is just a way to inform people that you are posting new stuff and to make them quickly access your information about your new posts. For example, title, publishing date, featured image, and quick description of the content, and so on. And basically, you can set up something different here. by customizing your feed RSS. You can also preview your feed by using some free tools online. For example, this one gives you the ability to preview your RSS feed by simply typing in your feed URL. This is my URL. I click on load feed and I will see all my feed structure, which is this one. And if I want, I can use these settings here to add some content before the RSS feed or after the RSS feed. In this case, this will be displayed before and after the single feed element. For example, if I want to display something at the end of my RSS feed, here, at the end after this post description, I can use this after content and display one of these variables. I will make an example with the blog description link, which will be displaying a link to my website using my website's name and description as an anchor text. Okay, so let's use this. Let's copy and paste it after the content. Let's save changes. And I will have a preview of this feed. And to be sure that I'm loading the latest feed, I will just need to also empty my cache here, pure cache, okay? And also maybe add a question mark and anything else after to be sure to load the latest version of my feed. Load. And now if I go down here, you will see that there is this sentence, WP Roads, which is the title of my website, find your WordPress way, which is the tagline of my website. And if I click on it, it will land on my homepage, which is basically just what the blog description link already did. This one. Perfect, you see? And if I want, I can also insert an author link. I can place it before the content. I can save changes. I can go and have a preview of my feed, load feed. And of course, I will need to refresh it like here. Okay, load feed. And down here, you will see the author name, which is below the image. Okay, there is the content description, and then I have my website title and so on. So this is great, and it is a good way to customize your RSS feed if you need to do so. And in my case, I will leave it. I will leave it like this, and I will save changes. Perfect. Now, if we scroll down and go to the blog settings, we see that these settings are just controlling the way that we will display the block that displays the table of contents. Of course, you will need this only if you're not using already a table of contents into your templates or into your blog post in general, because Elementor and also many other builders, like for example, I don't know, Spectra or Stackable or Cadence, has already their own table of contents block. So in the case that you're not using any other table of content blocks, you can go and see how this works by creating, for example, a new post and typing inside here, plus you type for rank math, and you will see that this is the table of content by rank math, which is just a basic block that enables you to display all your post content into a table. Very easy and simple to navigate. In my case, I'm already using a table of content provided by Elementor. And so if I go, for example, in my tutorials and I click on, I don't know, maybe this one, I will see that I have a simple table of content which is generated automatically, and it can simply drive me to the single content that I need to go and visit. This is great, and it is already good and optimized by Elementor in my case. But if you want to use the table of content provided by RankMath, you can do it and use it inside Gutenberg, which is pretty straightforward and easy to set up. If you want to edit it, you can change the title of the table of content. You can choose the way that the content list will be displayed, and you can select or deselect any kind of headings. Generally speaking, the best practice is to select the H2 and H3 headings, but you can choose whatever is your preferences. Let's save changes. In my case, I won't use it, so let's leave it like this. You can also go on here by editing the htaccess file, which is a very advanced file that you can edit right here, but keep in mind that this is very delicate customizations, and do it only if you really know what you're doing, because you can risk to break your website if you do not know what you're doing specifically. Of course, even here you have the learn more if you want to dive deeper. And you have also the content AI settings. This is good only if you have a content AI subscription enabled on RankMath. In my case, I do not have one, so I just leave it like this. and this is great if you want to customize the way that AI suggests you the content that you want to be able to create using AI when you are editing posts or pages. For example, you can choose the default country in which you are providing your information as a website. For example, if your traffic are coming from Austria, for example, you can choose it, or you can choose worldwide if your website is just providing information for visitors coming all over the world, from all over the world. You can choose the tone of voice, you can choose the default audience, the type of audience, you can choose the default language, and many other information that are very useful if you're using Content AI. I will provide you with a different tutorial about this settings here, this feature, which is because I think it is very, very interesting. If you would like a more in-depth tutorial on this, don't hesitate to comment in the comment section below and ask me a tutorial about Content AI, because I would be more than happy to provide it to you. So just let me know in the comment section below. Now we can go on by exploring the 404 monitor. This will be something that we will dive deeper when we will just go and explore the 404 monitor option right here. But here in the general settings, you can just basically see some basic settings about this functionality. The 404 monitor is something that lets you check the errors that people are occurring in when they visit some broken links of your website. So this is very important. This I will suggest you here to keep it simple, because if you go on advanced, you will just store a lot of data, and this will quickly become a little bit overwhelming for your hosting, for example, or for your space or in your database tables. So let's keep it simple here. You can also log the limit of the number of errors that you will monitor. You can leave it on 100, it's okay. Then we can go here and exclude some paths if you know that you have some 404 errors that will always stay there because you do not, you cannot solve them at the moment, or you are not able to do any redirection. You can exclude paths. And you can also ignore some query parameters. This means that you will ignore all the query parameters, the part after a question mark in a URL. So when you are logging 404 errors, sometimes it can be useful to log them. And in my case, I will just keep them to ignore because I do not need to collect such an information at the moment. I can save changes, and I can go on now to redirections. Here we will see how they work later on, but this is just a kind of general settings that you can set up, and it's best practice to do it immediately like this. So here, for example, you can choose to enable debug redirections. This will display the debug console instead of being redirected. So when you are redirecting some links, instead of redirect directly the links that are not working on your website, you can see the debug console. If this is kind of an advanced setting, of course, but if you're diving deeper into solving some problems on your website and that are involving redirections, you can enable this, of course. In this case, I will leave it disabled, of course. Fallback behavior, if redirection doesn't work, you should leave it on 404. So the page will be just the not found, so the error page 404. By the way, I have a full tutorial where I explain to you how to create a beautiful and engaging 404 paging using Elementor and Lottie files. So this is great. I will leave it in the description below. You can also choose to redirect people to the homepage if a redirection does not work, or to have a custom redirection to a custom URL. In this case, I will suggest you to leave the default 404 page. Down here, you have the redirection type. You should leave the 301 permanent move. And of course, you can also set up different kind of redirection when you will go to the redirection tab and you will create some redirection for some errors or any other stuff on your website. But in this case, leave this as a default one. And you can also try to enable this auto post redirect. This is interesting, but it can be some kind of tricky sometimes. And what does it do? What does it do? It's simple. It extends the functionality of WordPress by creating the redirects in our plugin when you change the slug of a post, page, category, or a custom post type. You can modify the redirection further according to your needs. What does it do? This simply creates for you a redirection automatically each time you update the URL of a post, of a link, or of a page, or of a product, or any other content on your website. This can be useful, so maybe yes, just keep them enabled and save changes. And the last tab is about analytics, and here is where you can just basically tweak around the connection of your Google account with Search Console, Analytics, and AdSense through Rank Math. So if you have done everything correctly, here you should see at least the Search Console green, which is very important and the most important one. And you should also enable the index status tab, which is kind of interesting because it will provide you some advanced information into the analytics tab, which is very important. So let's leave this enabled. And in the analytics tab down here, you will just connect your Google Analytics account through Rank Math to your Rank Math dashboard. And if you want to install the analytics code, you can enable this, and you can also exclude the logged in users traffic, which is kind of a best practice, of course. If you need to reconnect or to disconnect some account, you can click on these links here. And you can scroll down. If you have the premium version, you can connect also your Google AdSense account through this option. And you can also decide how many days the analytics data should be in your database. In this case, I will leave 90 because it's kind of a best practice. And here it explains to you how much storage you are kind of consuming at the moment. In my case, I have 23 days. I have 55 rows, and the size of the database, it's 80 kilobyte. Okay, I can delete data or update data manually. In my case, in the free version, this is the maximum. If you're using the pro version, you can also store many more days of data. Here you can display the front-end stats bar, which is kind of annoying, but in some cases it can be useful. If you enable this and you save changes and you go and visit one of your pages on your website, you will simply see a kind of a stats bar. I will just purge my cache now. And you see, this is the stats bar. It just gives you the kind of an overview of the most important features about your page, the most important part of the optimization of your page, the SEO score, the search impressions, which are taken by the Google Search Console, and then you have the index status, the page speed, and something else, which are just available if you're using Rank Math Pro. And basically, this is not so useful if you are not using Rank Math Pro. And keep in mind that this stats bar, it will be visible only for you that you are an admin logged in user, because the other user will not see it, of course. So if you want to enable it, you can enable it here. In my case, I will leave it disabled. And of course, here you have also the email reports that are every 30 days, and they give you an overview of the SEO score, of the SEO performance of your website during the month. So I can leave them disabled here and save changes. Okay. Now we just did a kind of an overview of all the general settings of Rank Math. Be careful and just follow along and enable all the stuff that I showed you exactly as I showed you here, unless you want to do differently because you exactly know what you're going to do. Let's have a quick overview of the Analytics tab. Generally speaking, when you are not using Rank Math Pro, this tab is quite useless because you have not that much information, and you can basically get the same or even more information from Google Search Console and Google Analytics. But when you're using Rank Math Pro, you will be able here to see a lot of interesting information about the performance of your website content. For example, your blog posts, your pages, and see what are all the search impressions, the traffic that is coming from Google and other search engines. No, in this case, just Google, and total keywords that are ranking, search clicks that you're receiving from your content, of course, and the average click-through. These are all very interesting data, but as you can see here, you just have a very superficial overview. You do not have many data. You see here everything requires to upgrade to Rank Math Pro. So here we have the SEO performance. Yes, this is kind of a great tab. You can come here from time to time to see how your content is performing, and you can see down here all your main posts and the impressions, the number of clicks, the position, and so on. Of course, you have to wait a little bit. At the beginning, not many data. You will see not many data right here. But when you start getting some more traffic and when you start publishing your more content and so on, you will see all the data right inside here. So the SEO performance is kind of a good page to go when you have to go and see how things are performing. You see here, for example, I say that this is becoming to be interesting, and I could also go inside here and improve it because I see that there is some movement inside here, and I can try to rank to go from the 60 position to the 40, and then from the 40 position to the 10th, and then so on, and to arrive to the top of the SERP for a specific keyword. Here we can do nothing because everything here is about a pro feature, as you can see. But basically, when we have Rank Math Pro, we can just track some keywords and the impressions that we will receive for that specific keyword. And that's kind of interesting, of course, feature. We also have the rank tracker, which is a pro feature, and we have the index status, that is also a pro feature. So basically, inside here, everything is pro. I just wanted to give you a quick preview, but is all about Rank Math Pro. So if you want also a tutorial about Rank Math Pro, drop me a line in the comment section below. Let's continue now our Rank Math configuration. In this case, we're going to click on the Rank Math SEO and into the titles and meta settings. Okay, here the first setting is the global meta, which is very important to understand, and let's see how it works. The first one, the robots meta, lets you enable the global settings to index or not index the pages and posts of the whole website. So generally speaking, here you need to keep it as it is. You do not need to touch anything, and keep in mind that you can change these settings for each different page. What is this all about? The first one, the index setting, it means that you are telling Google to index your pages and posts and products and so on. So you're basically telling Google that your website is okay with indexing. You want your website to be found on Google. The no follow means that you are clicking on this link, that you are selecting this option if you want not to Google not to follow the links that are present into your page or post. And the no image index, it means that Google should not index the images that are contained into a page or a post. The no index means that you do not want to index that specific page or that specific post. In this case, if you enable this here, it means that you are not indexing the whole website. This is not recommended, of course. The no archive, it means that Google should not display cached snippets of your pages and posts in the search results. So this could be helpful in some cases if you are trying to remove a page or a post or a product from the search engines, and you want to prevent that page to be shown as a cached result in Google. So here we have the last one, which is no snippet. You want to tell Google not to provide a snippet in the search results for that specific page or post. So these are all global settings, so leave it like this. If you want to index your website, you should leave it exactly like this. Down here you have the advanced robots meta. In this case, if you do not want to change it, it is recommended to leave them like this. You can choose the specific length that you want your snippets to have in search results if you want. You can use also the specific length for the video previews if you are embedding videos in your blog posts or products or pages. And you can choose also the image preview if you want it to be large, standard, or none. In this case, I will leave it exactly as it is because it is just optimized for the majority of type of websites. Down here we have no index, empty category, and tag archives. We already did this while we were configuring the setup wizard, and this is a best practice because if you have some categories for your blog posts, for your products, and so on, and they are empty, you want to prevent them to be indexed. In my case, for example, this blog category is empty, and if I click and see it, it's just an empty page, and I don't want this page to be indexed in Google search results. And so what happens here is that this little option here let me no index this kind of categories. And as soon as I will start publishing some content into this category, of course, this option won't apply automatically, and the category will start being indexed by Google. That's okay, perfect. Here you can choose the separator character. This is the character that will appear in search results in your snippets to separate your page title or post title from the website title. In this case, I would use this one. You can choose between different kind of separators you see here, and they work fine. Okay, you can choose whatever you want. Maybe this one, it's okay also. Now let me go with this one, and you can also even customize it here with whatever you want. Of course, here the best thing to do is to insert some kind of icons that are separating words, and I will use this one in my case. Okay, down here you can choose to automatically capitalize titles in your post titles in the snippets, in the search results. This could be useful if you are using a style that want to show titles capitalized, I will enable myself, and you can go on here by adding an open graph thumbnail. This we already saw it in the setup wizard. It is a very simple setting. It just displays a fallback image in the eventuality you haven't set up a featured image for your post pages, custom post types, and so on. So this is very, very important to set up, and it should be 100,000 per 1,200 pixels per 630 pixels, and it's quite easy to generate. You can create one with Canva or Photoshop or whatever software you're using to create your graphics. And down here you can set up a Twitter card type. You can have a summary card or a summary card with large image. I would choose the first one that will display more data to the users when I share my links, my website links to Twitter. Let's save changes. Okay, and so this was the first setting, the global meta. Let's go on now with local SEO. And here we have the local SEO tab with all the settings that are included. This is a very important part of the SEO settings, even if you do not have a local store. So even if you do not have a physical location where you just welcome your clients, you can use it to provide some important information and to help Google obtain a knowledge graph for your website, which can be very useful in many cases. And what is a knowledge graph? It's very important, and it's very easy to make an example. I've typed inside here the name of New York City in my case, just to show you a quick example of what is a knowledge graph. It's exactly this part here, which has a small about section with some information about, in this case, the city. And you can obtain this if you provide Google with some important information about, for example, your business. And you will most likely have a similar result when people type the name of your business into Google. So this is very important. And if you want to obtain something like this, you have to fill up all the information here in the local SEO settings. So let's start here with the person or company. We'll see the shortcode later on. And let's start with the person or company. Here you have just to choose if your website is a personal website, so it's intended as a person, or as an organization if you're using it for business, for example. So here, this is my website name, WP Roads. In the website alternate name, I will insert in my case the same as the website name, WP Roads, because I want Google to understand that the website title in my case is exactly this one. And the places where Google displays the website title can be the knowledge graph, as I told you before, but also in search results snippets like this one here. When I type in to the Google search bar the name of my website, here you can see that this one is the website title, the website name. And in my case, Google is taking wproads.com as the website name, but it should be updated, this one. And since I want Google to learn that the real website name is this one, I have also used it as a website alternate name. So this is a best practice to be sure that Google will understand correctly our website name. And here there is the personal organization name. In my case, I use, maybe I will do it like this, Pascal Claro WP Roads, which is my name and the name of my brand. Of course, you have to choose the way that you want to present your business online, of course. This is the description. WP Roads is a website and a YouTube channel created by Pascal Claro. Where you can find tutorials, reviews, and courses about WordPress. The main purpose of WP Roads is to be your pal in the exploration of the WordPress world to help you find your WordPress way. So this is the description, and it's very important to provide a description that will just talk about your business and will describe the main focusing of your website, of course. And this can result in a kind of the about section of the knowledge graph, for example. Down here, you have to choose a logo. If you do not choose a logo here, Rank Math will just immediately choose automatically the website logo. And in my case, I want to upload a logo here. I will choose this one and I will click on use. I will scroll down here. Be sure to insert your website URL, or you can also insert a mail where people can find you. This is my business email, so I want people to find it if they want to contact me. And down here, you can insert your physical address, of course. You can also choose the address format if you want to change it. You can choose the business type, as we did already together during the setup wizard. And we can choose the opening hours format. In my case, it will be, let me do it like this, okay? Down here, if you have opening hours, of course, you can choose them right here. In my case, I will just remove Sunday and Saturday because I will keep the light week. And of course, in the premium version of Rank Math, you can also hide opening hours, or you can even set up open 24 hours a day. And you can choose, of course, more advanced settings if you're using the premium version. And of course, if you want to dive deeper into all these local SEO settings, you will have them. You can also add multiple locations if you have a business that has multiple locations. And you can have, as I was saying, hide the opening hours, and you can also use the opening 24/7 label and so on. All this is available in the premium version. So now in this tutorial, we will focus in the free version, of course. Down here, if you have it, you can insert your phone number, the customer service, for example, or any other kind of number that you want to share with people that are trying to reach you in the search engines. Price range, if you want to insert here your price range, you can do it. You can also insert some additional info about your business, which are very important if you have a registered business in any of the world countries that supports this kind of tax identification, legal name, and so on. This is great. Then you can link your about and your contact page. Since I have already some pages, these 2 pages, I will link it to, and I will show you how you can do it. You just type the name of your page. In my case, it's the about page, and I will link it here. And the contact page is this one, and I will link it here. So in the case that your people are searching for you, they can see the link of your pages maybe in the knowledge graph that will be displayed by Google. Of course, it's up to Google to choose which kind of information display in the knowledge graph and if display it or not to visitors that are trying to reach you online. Here you can insert your Google Maps API key, and you can also insert here your geo coordinates if you want to show your exact location of your physical business place. Okay, of course, you have multiple options if you upgrade to the premium version. Let's say changes, and now if you want to display all this information to visitors on your website, you can use the shortcode right here. You can copy and paste it, for example, into your contact page. Like in my case here, I have copy and pasted the search code into test widget in Elementor. You can do the same in Divi or Breakdance or Gutenberg or any other builder you're using. And then when you go and visit your website, you will see all the information that you provided in that section directly available to the users in this page. Okay, so in my case, I will leave it here like this. And let's go back here into the SEO settings. Perfect, into the title and meta settings, and we can go on by clicking on the social meta. This section is very important if you want to set up correctly all the social metadata that are connected to Facebook and Twitter. So the first thing here, if your web business has a Facebook page, you can paste your Facebook page URL down here, and so that when you share your content on Facebook, this information will be available. So for example, here my Facebook page URL is this one. By the way, if you want to like me on Facebook too, the page is WP Rhodes, and it's very easy to find on Facebook too. And this is my page of Facebook page URL. Down here, you can also use the Facebook authorship in the Rank Math documentation. It explains that this is not so important, so it's up to you if you want to use it or not. Down here, you can insert the Facebook admin, which is the numeric user ID of your profile. Of course, you can find it and insert it here if you want, but it is not as important as the Facebook page URL, of course. And if you want to insert the Facebook app ID, this can be important in some cases if you're using a lot the sharing of your website on Facebook particularly, and you want all your pages to be always updated and showing the latest content of your posts and pages and so on. You can insert here a Facebook app, and this just adds a functionality that Rank Math has integrated that pings Facebook each time you change something about your blog post or about your pages and so on. What does it mean? It means that if you try to share some content on Facebook, let's say that I want to share, for example, my homepage on Facebook, which is this one, and I go on Facebook. I'll make you a quick example here. And for example, on my Facebook page, I try to share my page here, my website, and I will see, in my case, you see my website title, my description, my featured image, and so on. If I go and change something on my homepage, for example, I change the title, I change the description, and so on, Facebook does not immediately recognize that I have made some changes, but I might have to go manually, for example, to the Facebook debugger tool, which is this one, insert here my website title, click on debug, click on scrape again, for example, to retrieve the new data. If I change the title, if I change the image, if I change anything about my specific page. While if I insert here the Facebook app ID, Rank Math will try immediately to inform Facebook that there are been some changes about your blog post and about your pages and products and so on, so that each time you're going to share something, some links, for example, the homepage link or some specific blog post links to Facebook, you will be sure that they will display always the latest information about your website. Without having to go here manually and debug and scrape the information from Facebook debugger. So I hope to be that I have been clear here with the explanation, but if you didn't understand and if you want to go dive deeper, you can just click here in the learn more, and the documentation will be very well explained here. And it also explains that if you want to get rid of this message here that says that you are not using a Facebook app ID, you can insert the default Facebook app ID, which is this one, and simply paste it inside here. Down here, you can also use the Facebook secret if you are using the app ID, of course. And you can also provide your Twitter username if you have a Twitter X account. In my case, it's WP Rhodes, okay? You do not have to use the @ but you just need to use the name that you have on Twitter down here. And if you have additional profiles, you can insert down here like this. Okay, so basically here are all the basic social meta that you need to set up when you are configuring this part of Rank Math settings. Let's click on Save Changes. Okay, perfect, and let's go on. We'll see the homepage settings in the next steps of the tutorial, where I will show you how to optimize perfectly all the homepage of your website, which is a key page that you need to set up perfectly from the SEO point of view. So now let's skip for now this part, we will see it later, and let's go on by the authors, Misc, and so on. The author settings are very important if you have multiple authors on your blog, for example, and you need them to be indexed and to be shown into the search results if someone type, for example, the name of the author and you want to display the archive of post for that specific author, for example. Down here you can choose, of course, if you want to enable or disable the author indexing and the author archives to be enabled or not. In my case, I will disable them, but I want to show you, in the case you need to enable them, how you can proceed. Here you can choose the different kind of slug that you can apply to the author base, for example. And in the case that you will leave it like this, I will show you how it will work on the front end. I am the only author of my blog post. You see here, this is a blog post that I've written here, and I'm the only author. And how you can simply display this: archive author / Pascal Claro, which is my username. And you see here, this is the author archive. I didn't set up this archive with Elementor because I would need to create a template with Elementor. But in my case, I do not want to set up an archive for this kind of content because I am the only author of my blog. So I do not need to separate the different authors and show their different posts. And so I will just disable them. But if you need to take control of this page, you just can set up an author page, of course, with Elementor or any other builder, and you can leave this enabled. And you can also get rid of this or change this slug. Okay, not get rid, but you can change this slug here if you want to type in, for example, user or teacher or author, blog author, and so on. I will leave it like this. When you scroll down here, you can choose to select custom bots meta for author pages, and I will recommend, if you disable this, you see some options will disappear. I will recommend you here to leave them like this because it says that here you have to avoid duplicate content, so leave them to no index. This is correct. So the author's robot meta should be into the no index status. Down here you can set up things like we just saw in the general settings. Down here you can change the author archive title if you want. For example, you can leave just the name of the author, and you can maybe use get rid of the page. I do not like to have pages like this. And you can just blog posts. Okay, for example, you see, and since I have set up all the titles to be capitalized, as you remember in the global meta down here, I have set up capitalized titles. As you can see here, if I type in anything into my titles, even if it's not capitalized, it will be viewed in the snippets like this. Blog post, it's capitalized. Okay, so here you can insert whatever you want. If you need different variables, you can just search them here. You can insert many kind of different variables that are just taken from the data of your website. And of course, you can just choose the one that you want to display dynamically here into the author blog, into the author archives. In my case, I will leave it like this, for example. And maybe instead of the separator, I can use the on Pascal Claro blog posts on WP Roads website, for example. Or I can even switch and write blog here. You see, Pascal Claro posts on WP Roads blog. Easy. And here you can have the author archive description. And let me see if there is an excerpt or something like this. Maybe the post excerpt or the author bio. Author description. This can be useful if you want to insert here the author description into the snippets when people just find the author archive by typing the name of the author on the search results, for example. And I will show you now how you can edit this also for each single author, of course. And down here you have two options. The first one is Slack enhanced sharing. If you're using a lot Slack and you're sharing your author archives and so on, and you want to enable this, it will just add the name and the total number of posts when you will share something about this author on Slack. In my case, I do not use it, so I will disable it, and you can choose to add or remove SEO controls to the author profiles. What does it mean? It means that if I save changes and I leave this option down here enabled, when I go to my profile on WordPress, here I can open this into a new page, I will see that if I scroll down, I will see that I have all the rank math settings down here available for me. You see? So no index robots meta is enabled, which is okay, the default setup here. I can choose also to have some focus keyword and so on. For example, I can put inside here the name and the last name of the author, so that if someone search for this can see it. But since this is no index, of course, this doesn't really matter. You have the advanced option here that you can choose to to set up differently between from the general settings that you have here. Of course, all the settings that you set up here will just override the global settings that are chosen there. You can also choose how to display this page when you will share this page on social media like Facebook or Twitter, like this, you see. And so basically you have all these controls in your author pages. Okay, the general is just this one. As I was mentioning, in my case, I want to use this, and I will just leave it on disable, of course, perfect. And so that all my author archives, which is just one in my case, will be redirected to the home page. So if I try to visit now my author archive by going and see the author Pascal Claro / Pascal Claro. Okay, now I see the archive, and if I enable this, if I disable this option here and I save changes, I will just see that this page will be redirected to the home page. Let's see, I reload the page. Okay, let's clear cache, of course. And voila, I'm redirected to the home page. Perfect, so this is working fine. Of course, here, the fact that these pages are put in no index, it explains to you that this is done to avoid duplicate content issues. So you must leave them like this. And you can, of course, configure all the rest of the settings here, just to be sure that this page will look good also when you share this on social media, which can be in some cases very useful. But from what I understood by reading the Rank Math documentation here, if you really need to index all the authors of your blogs, if you have many authors and you really are using the author archive pages as a key part of your website structure, of course you can keep this indexed. So you can go down here and make them indexed, but this will most likely generate duplicate content indexing of your website. So this is not a huge problem, as it explains also in the Rank Math documentation. But if you want to, if you can disable this and leave them no index, it's better, of course. In my case, I will disable them completely. Let's continue now by configuring the Misc pages. We have here the date archives. If you do not need them specifically, I will suggest you to keep them disabled here. Otherwise, if you want them and if you need them, you can enable them and set up all the different settings exactly as we saw for the others. So you have the date archive title that you can set up here by using variables that you can choose here, or by typing whatever you want just here like this. In my case, I will leave it disabled. And the 404 title, it's very important, so you can customize it here if you want. Page not found, WP Roads, okay, page not found. We can keep it like this. In my case, I will just leave it like this. Search results title here, and of course here you can, let me show you. For example, I go into my page, into my website, and I type in a URL which is not existing, so I will land into a 404 page. And as you can see here, this, let me close all this. Okay, this one is the title. You see when I hover with the mouse here, page not found, WP Roads. And if you want to change it, you can just use this option right here. Very easy. So if I type inside here, for example, 404 error, page not found. Okay, I can just leave it like this, for example. And I can save changes, and when I reload a 404 page here, and I of course clear cache as always, I will see that in the title I will see 404 error, page not found, WP Roads. The same you can apply it also to the search results title. For example, here I do not like the pagination, so I will just get rid of this page setting here, this page variable. Okay, I will leave it example search WP Roads. You can also insert here the search results term if you want, and of course there is the search query, but you can also insert search results for okay, voila. Then here there is the search query. You can just wrap it like this if you want. Search results for example search. We can also get rid of this search results for WP Roads. Perfect. You can also decide to no index search results, and by doing so you will be sure that all the search results pages will not appear into the search results for people that are looking for your website online. This is a best practice, of course. You can also no index sub pages. If you are not using sub pages to insert and structure some important content of your website, you can enable this option. The same here for paginated single pages. If you're not using this kind of structure for your blog post or for your pages, you can disable this. And of course, if you do not want to index your password protected pages, if you have some, you can disable this. You can enable this option right here. Let's go and save changes now, and we just did the Misc pages settings. By the way, if you need to create a beautiful 404 page with Elementor, I have a great tutorial about it. And also, if you want to create a search results template even better than the 404 page, I have a beautiful tutorial always on my YouTube channel, which will be, the both of them will be linked in the description box below. So go and check them out if you need to create this kind of structure using Elementor. Okay, now we are ready to set up the post types global settings. Basically here you are telling Rank Math to have some default options when you are creating new posts. This is the way that your posts will appear in search engines. So this is called also Snippet. And the first part of the snippet will be the single post title. So the title that you will see in search results when you are looking for your posts. For example, here if someone search for DB5 new demo, it will likely see my result like this. And this is created using some variables. You see here, if I delete them, I will be able to reinsert them by clicking here, And in my case, in most of the cases here, you want to show the title of the blog post. So for example, if I type in title, I see that I have the post title, which is the one that I need right here. Title of the current post or page. Okay, so here there is an example which is taken directly for your latest blog post. And down I can also insert a space here. I can space, and I can insert the separator character, which is this one, the separator, which you can configure in the global method as we already saw together before. You can insert another space here, and you can insert, for example, the website name. Site title, which is this one, site name. Okay, so this is basically the structure of my search engine results snippets, and they will show the title of my post, the separator, and the title of my website. Down here, you can also choose what you want to show in the description of the content. You see? Oh, so sorry, this one. And normally you want to show here the excerpt that is taken directly from the post content right here. When you're creating a post, this will be the excerpt, and it will be used to create the snippet that you can also preview right here. Click in here, and this will be the snippet. You see, this is the excerpt, and this is the title, and so on. Down here, you can go on and see that you can choose a global schema type to apply to all your new posts. Of course, keep in mind that you can also change it for single posts if you are creating different kind of content. But here, if you have a main type of content that you're creating every time you create a new post, you can assign a specific schema type. This will help Google read better your content, and eventually maybe create some rich snippets. So it's very important to set up correctly here the schema type. Basically, in most of the time, you will need an article schema type if you are creating basic blog posts. And when you select article, you will be asked here to provide a headline and a description. Just keep it like this, because they will be taken from the title of your blog post and from the description of your blog post, which is basically very similar to what we did before. Just keep it like this. Down here, you can choose the article type, and be careful if you choose article, it will be intended by Google by an organization. So if you are a business that are publishing article as a business, as an organization, of course you can keep it on article. If you are a single person that are publishing posts, you need to provide the blog post article type. And if you are publishing posts as an organization that has a news that is publishing news, you have to choose the news article, of course. And then let's go on by seeing, in my case, I am using this website to create some video content, and all of my blog posts are basically videos with some descriptions. So the video is the main content type that I'm providing through my blog. So I will choose the video one. And when I'm creating some content, I will see that here there is this icon that shows that my content has the schema video in my case. And I can, for each and every content, insert the embed URL of my video, add the content URL if I'm using a video that is provided through my servers to my hosting account, and I can insert here my duration, my video duration if I want. And so this is great because since I am publishing videos, video articles, this will be great. You see, the video is the main content of my articles, so it's very important that Google knows that this is the case and knows how to read it better. So this is my SEO schema type that I will assign to my posts. Down here, you can choose if you want to enable post robot meta to override the default settings. If you disable this, Rank Math will apply the index setting to all your blog posts, which is normally what you want to in general, so you can keep it disabled unless you want to no index or do some tweaks and advanced stuff right here. But in our case, we will keep it disabled. Link suggestion is a very, very important and advanced feature that you can use when you are starting to use some pillar content strategies. For example, the pillar content strategy is based on the fact that you have some main articles that are the main topics that you want to share in your blog. For example, they can be evergreen articles that you can share and update each and every year to be still relevant during time. And in my case here, this is my pillar content, which is the how to create a WordPress website with Elementor Pro. And it is one of my pillar content, of course, because I will provide more than one kind of tutorial on my website. And then I have some other posts that will be be considered as subtopics. For example, if you go now and see my tutorials, I have how to create a search results page, how to create a 404 page in Elementor, which are all they can be considered, as I was mentioning, like subtopics from of the main pillar content, which is this one. And what happens if I enable this link suggestions? I will be able to link to the pillar content when I'm creating some subtopics posts. For example, here I go to the pillar content, I go to edit post. Of course, this we will also see this in depth in the next steps of the tutorial. And when I open the rank math settings, I see that I can set up a focus keyword. Of course, here I will do Elementor Pro tutorial. Okay, perfect. Down here, I will have to choose this is pillar content, which is exactly what I want, because this will be one of my main pillar posts. Okay, and then when I save, and when I go into a secondary content, a sub-content post like this one, how to create a search results page with Elementor, and if I reload the page, okay, I have to be sure to assign also to each content a category and a tag. In my case, I have categories and tags that are assigned to my content, and even here I have categories and tags that are assigned to my secondary sub-content. Okay. Down here, I will see that I have my link suggestions, and I will see that I have my link to my pillar content, which is the Elementor Pro tutorial. And this is very easy to, and this is a way to speed up the process of creating and structuring your internal linking on your website. So I can go down here, for example, and remember people to visit also my pillar content, which is the Elementor Pro tutorial. So I can go here, check my, and then I can use the link suggestion feature here to insert here directly the link into the content. You see, very easy. Check my Elementor Pro tutorial if you want to dive deeper. So as you can see here, I'm linking to my pillar content, and this will help Google understand the structure of my blog, and most of all will help also users to find the valuable content on my blog and to navigate it better. Another option that you can see here is that you can use as link suggestions the title of the pillar content or the focus keyword of the pillar content. As I have selected the focus keyword, as you can see here, voila, this is my focus keyword, Elementor Pro tutorial. And of course, Rank Math will suggest me down here in the link suggestions directly the focus keyword that I can apply to my content, and that will be linked directly to my main pillar content article. And if I use the other kind of suggestion and I save changes, and I go back here and I reload the page, I will see that in the link suggestion tab, instead of using the focus keyword, it will use the title of my blog post of the pillar content. Of course, as you start having more pillar contents into your blog and you have 100 of articles, these features will become very, very helpful and useful. Let's go on now by exploring the other settings that we have here. We can choose which kind of taxonomy we want to assign as primary. Here I would suggest you to leave it on the categories, or if you have some other taxonomies that you want to assign as primary, you can choose them from here. In my case, I will leave categories, and this will also be used in the Rank Math Breadcrumbs as a primary taxonomy to be shown. For example, here, when I view my post, I can see that here I've inserted my Rank Math breadcrumbs like this, and my primary taxonomy is the category, and in my case the category is WordPress tutorials, you see? While if I choose tags here and I save changes, if I reload this page now, I will see that instead of showing the category, it will show the tag. And in my case here the tag is Elementor, for example, and but since I want to use the categories as primary taxonomy, I will use categories. Okay, save changes. Perfect. Down here, if you scroll and you go on with and seeing all the other settings, you have this Slack enhanced sharing, which is an option to show some advanced content when you share these posts on Slack. Since I do not use Slack at the moment, I will keep this disabled. You can also decide to add or remove SEO controls for your posts. In this case, I will suggest you to leave them enabled, and this just adds this kind of settings here this option here into the rank math into the blog post. If you disable that option here, you won't be able to see this option, and you won't be able to optimize all your posts with rank math. So this is a bit silly, so let's leave this enable. You can also decide if you want to enable bulk editing. What is all about? This is all about your blog post list here, and if you enable bulk editing, you will be able to see this pencil here and to see all this data about your SEO optimization for your post. For example, here, if I go and click here, I will be able to insert the focus keyword for each and every blog post without having to go inside the post and add a focus keyword, which is very useful and practical. You see some post has already the focus keyword set up, some others not. And so if I need to do so very quickly, I can do it like this, and I can save, and it will save me a lot of time, of course. You can also decide to limitate here the bulk editing to read only. So you will only be able to read all these informations without being able to have the pencil here to set them up. Or you can bulk disable this function. And if you disable this, you won't be able to see all the SEO details and so on. Keep in mind that if this is enabled like this, you can also add some more SEO columns by clicking on the screen options and go to the SEO title and SEO description. And this can be very useful if you want to edit the title and description of some posts in bulk right here. But since we just did this with the dynamic variables, as you can see here, we do not need this right now. So I will just keep that disabled, and voila, that's it. And at the end here, you have the custom fields. This is a field that supports the native WordPress custom fields. So if you are using them, you will be able to list them right here, one per line, and then rank math will take all this information taken from your custom fields to suggest you some optimizations. Here in the on-page SEO, that are all the elements that rank math suggests you to improve your SEO for your posts and pages. And now let's scroll down and talk about pages. Basically, you have the same settings that you defined in posts, but they are all applied to pages. And even here, they are global settings, so you can always override them into a single page level. So this is the title structure of the pages as they will appear in the search engine results. We have the title, the excerpt. We have here the schema type. In general, rank math tells you to assign also a general article kind of content also to pages, and so this is what I will do for my website, and I will keep them on article. You can also do none, but in my case article will help Google maybe index also all the images, the publishing date, and all the other content, even in my static pages. Down here I have the headline and description, so I will keep them like this as always. Here I can choose the article type. If you are a single person business a single personal blog, you can choose this one. Or if you have a business and you are publishing and using your website as a business, you can select article. If you are publishing news, of course, you can select news. But in this case, since we are creating this for single pages, I would suggest you to leave it on article or blog post. Down here, you can decide to modify something about page robots meta, but I will leave it's on index, so default is okay. I will leave it disabled and default. Link suggestions, I do not need them for static pages on my website, so I will disable this. And Slack enhanced sharing, I do not need it. And add SEO controls, yes, because I will need to optimize my single static pages also in my case for SEO. For example, the about page, the services page, the portfolio page, and maybe also the home page, of course, and many other pages that I will use to provide information to my visitors. Here I can also decide if I want to enable the bulk editing feature, and I can also assign custom fields exactly as we saw in the post settings. Okay, let's go on. Here you can choose to manage attachments, but since we have disabled the attachments and we have enabled the redirection here, we do not have any control over them, so which is exactly what we want because we do not need them. And I have some custom post types that are landing pages and resources, and in my case I do not need to index them, so I will simply go here, I will scroll down, I will disable all the options that I would not need. SEO controls, I do not need them, and in my case I will enable the advanced robots meta, and I will place them into no index, no archive, and no snippet, because I do not want and need any of these. So I will save changes, and I will do the same also for the resources, because they are just used as internal features, as links that I will share into specific campaigns, and I do not want them to be indexed by Google. So even here, I enable the robots meta and I put them to no index, no archive, and no snippet. I will do the same also with the link categories, because they are generated by a plugin which I do not want to index in Google. So I will just enable them here and put them to no index. Okay. I will disable all the other things that I do not need. Perfect. And I will do the same here with link tags. Okay, perfect. No index, no archive, no snippet. Save changes. Perfect. And so here I basically have the post categories that I can set up, and also the post tags. In the categories, I can choose here to have a different kind of, structure for my category or archive title. In my case, I will keep it like this. Example term, which is my category term, and separator and name of the website. Term description, this can be edited from the category description. So if I go, for example, in my blog categories, I go here and open the categories. I see that I have the description set up for each and every category. And so when someone search for this specific category and see it indexed in Google, they will see the title and the category like this. If I click on view and I have a quick preview here in the tab, I see that the title is the name of the category, separator, and name of the website, and the description will be taken if someone sees the category when it is kind of searching for it in Google. Okay, you see here. Let me make a quick test. WP Roads WordPress tutorials. I don't know if I'm indexed. Oh yes, perfect. You see here there is the title. Since this is an old snippet, because I didn't have rank math at the beginning, this is the simple title of the category, and this is a simple list of all the all the elements that are included into the category page. But since now I have updated this right here, when Google will crawl again and will update all my WordPress category page, like in my case, I will see it like this. So I will see it with my title, separator, and name of the website. And here I will see the description of the category that in my case is, let me see if I can show it to you, in WordPress tutorials, is this one. WordPress tutorials you don't want to miss. So maybe I should improve the length of all this categories description, because of course here they will appear a little bit better if they are longer. Okay. Now let's go on seeing all the other options that you have to set up the categories. You can scroll down here and you can enable the categories robot meta if you want to modify them here. In my case, I do not want to modify them. And if you leave the add SEO controls here, what happens is that when you are inside a category and you edit this category, you will see down here the rank math options available to you. If you can even place a focus keyword, and you can optimize content even in the archive pages like the category pages. In my case here, the focus keyword would be WordPress tutorials. Voila, perfect. Update. So these are all the settings that you can apply to categories. You can do the same thing to tags. In my case, I will leave it like this, perfect. And I will no index tags in my case, because I do not want them to be indexed at this moment. And I will remove this, and I will remove also the SEO controls, but because since they are not indexed, I do not need to control SEO controls. Save changes, perfect. So basically these were the titles and meta settings. There are many settings that you saw here, and I hope that you was able to set up everything perfectly for your website. And I didn't mention it, but if you have WooCommerce installed and if you have enabled in the dashboard the WooCommerce module, you will be able here to set up all the global settings also for your WooCommerce products, which is very easy and pretty straightforward to set up, exactly as we did here with the posts and pages and custom post types. And now let's configure together your sitemap settings. This is a very crucial and important setting about the SEO of your website. So let's go on here. You click on Rank Math SEO and you click on Sitemap Settings. And here you can scroll down and see some important information about your website sitemap. The General tab, you can use it to set up everything about your basic sitemap XML, which is the sitemap that is submitted to Google Search Console to tell Google which is the basic structure of your website, all the pages, categories, taxonomies, custom post types that you need to be indexed and that you need to show Google that your website is about. Here you can limit the links per sitemap for each page. In this case I will leave it default like this. If you want, you can click here and have a preview of your sitemap and see what are all the content that is being indexed by that is being submitted to Google. For example, here I have all my posts. I can click on them, I can see all them, and I can see also all the images that are associated in my posts that are present inside the post, or they are set up as a featured image. So here, if I click on the single post, I will go and visit the post. It's very easy. It's just the structure of your website, but it's just a simple list. You have also the page sitemap that is also about all the pages that you want to submit to Google to tell him the structure of the website. And you can go back here and you can see also the taxonomy sitemap. In my case, I only have the category sitemap with all my main categories of my blog. So this is the structure of the sitemap, and you can basically customize it completely using the sitemap settings of Rank Math. And you also have HTML sitemaps that we will see together in a moment. But let's go on now with the general settings. You can decide if you want to include the images in sitemaps. This means that you want to show to Google all the images that are included in your posts, and this is a best practice, so I will encourage you to leave it enabled, and they will be basically showing Google all the images that are contained into the single posts. For example, here if I go and open my post sitemap, as I was showing you, you have all the images that are included in your articles, and they will be shown like this. So Google is knows that there are some images inside your posts. You can also decide to include or exclude the feature image, even if the feature image is not present in the article, in the post. I want to do this because sometimes I do not include my featured image inside the post, but I want to use it as a potential also search result rich snippet. So I will include this in my sitemap too. I can decide to exclude some posts or pages or custom post type or products by inserting here a list of comma-separated IDs, and I can also exclude some terms. This is very useful because sometimes we do not want some elements to appear into the sitemap. For example, here if I go to my page sitemap, I do not want this page here to be present in my sitemap, and this is just a landing page that I'm using, and the ID of this page is the 712 ID. So what do I need to do if I want to exclude this page from my sitemap, which is just a landing page that I'm using in some campaigns? I can simply go here and use the 712 ID. This one is in the sitemap is this one, the Elementor Starter Kit subscribe page. So I do not want this one, and I do not want this one, this community confirmation page. Okay, this is just a services kind of an internal page. 879 is the ID. So I will go here, comma 879, and when I save changes and I go and reload the sitemap, now that pages you see here, they will not be visible. So the community confirmation page is no more there, and the Elementor Starter Kit subscription page is no more there. So I just have my home page, my contact page, my community page, my cookie policy, privacy policy, and my about page. So everything is very, very clear and easy to read. And I do not have pages that I do not want Google to know about on my website because they are just internal pages that I'm using for my business. Okay, you can do the same with categories and with pages and products and whatever stuff you want to take off your sitemap. You can do it like this. And we can also set up an HTML sitemap, and now I will show you how this works. If you enable this option, you will see all the settings down here, and in many cases having an actual HTML sitemap will help you and your user navigate better your website. Most of all, when a website becomes very huge and with hundreds of different pages, this is very, very important to have as a setting, and of course will help improve Google indexing of your website. So let's see how you can create this kind of page. You can enable the HTML sitemap, and you can decide the display format. The shortcode option will let you display the HTML sitemap into any page that you want to display it using the simple shortcode, and this will be the shortcode. And the other option, the page option, will just let you select a page where you want to display the sitemap. I will use the shortcode method, and let's create together a new page that we will call sitemap here. Okay, and let's enter the shortcode. We can either use Elementor or Gutenberg or Divi or whatever, or Breakdance or whatever page builder we are using. Let's click on Publish now, and let's go and see the page from the front end. Okay, as you can see, this page will be pretty simple and basic, but it will display all the content that is present in your website. This is very, very useful for you as a website creator and manager, or even for your visitors that can see with a kind of a full view all the content and structure of your website. Well organized and easy to access. You see here, and as I was mentioning before, this is very important to exclude some pages and some categories and some content from the sitemap sometimes. And in my case here, I had to exclude some internal use pages because I do not want them to be shown publicly. And as I was mentioning to you before, I correctly did it because now they are just hidden from here, and I just have my basic pages from right here. So this is great. It is a great thing also to insert maybe in your footer. Let's go here and edit our footer, and I will add the link to my sitemap. This is my footer. Okay, let's go down here with Elementor, and I will basically place my sitemap right here. Add item, and this will be my sitemap. This is the sitemap icon, and I will call it, of course, sitemap. And I can link it here, sitemap. Okay, this is great. So once I have added my sitemap into my footer, I will be able to easily access it, and to make people also that are exploring my website easily access and see all the website content in a glance. Beautiful. And this is useful not only for you or for your users, but also most of all for Google, because it's another way to provide Google with important information about the structure of your website. Of course, the most important sitemap is the XML sitemap, which is linked to Google Search Console, and is the sitemap that also RankMath send automatically to your Google Search Console account to make Google aware of the content of your whole website, and this is great. And if you want to go on here in the HTML sitemap, you can display, you can decide to tweak around with some advanced settings. You can change the sorting of all the content, post ID, alphabetical, modified date, publishing date. You can show dates. As you can see here into the sitemap page, I have the dates, and you can also go on by showing the item titles or just the SEO titles. In my case, I will leave the item titles. We can save changes now, and we have a great HTML sitemap alongside with the standard XML sitemap. And we can choose also to have some advanced settings for the posts, pages, attachments, and so on. Let's see the posts. We want, of course, to include them into the sitemap and also into the HTML sitemap. And if we have the image custom fields, we can place them right here. And this explains insert custom fields, post meta names, which contain image URLs to include them into the sitemaps. Add one per line. In our case, this is not useful because it is just an advanced settings that we are not using. Pages, we have the same setting here for pages, and we want them to be included in the sitemap and also in the HTML sitemap. In the attachments, in my case, I do not want attachments to be in the sitemap, neither in the HTML sitemap. And landing pages, I do not want them to be in sitemap, and I don't want them to be in HTML sitemap. And resources, Maybe I just want to include in the, no, I do not want to include them in the sitemap, so I just leave it like this. And for the taxonomies, in my case, I have the categories. Of course, if you're using WooCommerce or any other e-commerce platform that has some custom post types, you need here to include them into the sitemap if you want to provide Google with information about your products and so on. So it's very important to do so. Here we have some taxonomies. We have the categories. In my case, I want them to be in both sitemaps. And I don't want to include empty terms. So I have some empty categories. I do not want them to be included into the sitemap. Tags, I do not want them to be into the sitemap. Link categories, I do not want them to be there. And also link tags, I do not want them to be there. And I save changes. And now basically I've configured my sitemaps. If you have some problems configuring your HTML sitemap with Google Search Console, you just need to verify that your HTML sitemap is functioning. So you go and visit it. Here it works perfectly. I visit the single content and it works perfect. Okay, the page sitemap works good. The category sitemap works good. Okay, and so basically you have to go to Google Search Console, and once you open the page here, you can click on sitemaps and verify that the status is success, and that inside the sitemap also the single pages of the sitemap are correctly indexing and how do you say, processing the content of your website. So this is great and very important to verify. Great. Okay, now we can go back to our settings and go on by exploring all the other Rank Math advanced settings. Let's have a quick look now at instant indexing. This is a setting that is present in Rank Math. Basically, this is automatic, so you do not need to do anything right here, because Rank Math, if you go on history, will try automatically to ping all the search engines and that are using this API, Index Now API, which basically are Yandex and Bing, and maybe also some others search engines, but the biggest one are Yandex and Bing. And each time you publish a new page or post, Rank Math will send a kind of a ping, so will inform Bing and Yandex and all the other search engines that are using the Index Now API that there are some new pages and new content on your website that it is ready to be indexed. So you can also force this by submitting some single posts or pages URLs right here, and you can go and control this setting right here by going to the dashboard, scrolling down and finding the instant indexing tab, which is this one. And basically when you enable this, you can go in settings and just tweak around with this submit URL and so on. You can decide which kind of content you want to submit automatically. In my case, it will be posts and pages. If you have also products or any other custom post type that you want to submit automatically to the instant indexing, you can select it here, and you can also change and upgrade your API key, which is exactly what I'm going to do, because now you saw it in this, and this should be not public. So I will just reload this and change it when I finish to record this video. A very super important settings about Rank Math is the 404 monitor. In this way, you can be able to monitor all the error pages that are occurring when visitors try to visit some URLs that are no more functioning on your website. Let me show you a quick example. Now, let's be sure to go to the dashboard and to enable the 404 monitor module, which is this one. Once you enable this monitor here, you will be able to access the 404 monitor right here, and you will be able to see all the errors that are occurring on your website. In my case, there are no errors, but let me show you what happens if I go and try to visit a page on my website that is no more functioning or that has a not working URL. Let's say that the URL I'm trying to visit is this one, which is a fake URL, which is not present on my page. I will land on the 404 page. By the way, if you want to learn how to create beautiful and fancy 404 pages using Elementor, you can use my full tutorial about this, which will be linked in the description below. And now here, since I have visited this page, which is SDFS, which is just a fake URL, when I go to the 404 monitor and reload the page, I will see that this page has caused a 404 error. So I will know that someone has tried to visit this link here and has occurred a 404 error. Basically, this is very important to monitor when I have maybe some pages that I have changed, I have updated the URL, and I have forgot to set up a redirection, for example. Or maybe there are some old pages that I have deleted and that are still linked in some social media posts, or maybe in some other websites that didn't update the content. And so basically here I will be able to redirect these pages, for example, this error. So if many other users will click again on that link, they will be redirected to a page that I want. For example, here, let's say that this is an example. Let's make a clearer example. So let's delete this. And let's see what happens here if someone tries to visit a page that is no more active or that has a wrong URL on our website. Let's open our website now. And let's say that someone is trying to visit a page which is called Pascal/Claro, which is my name and last name, okay? And since this page is not existing, or maybe let's say it is a page that I have deleted, for example, that I had once and now is deleted, and the user will land on this page. 404, nothing found here. To avoid the fact that people will land on the 404 page, and to make them land on the correct page that I want them to visit when they visit this old URL, for example, I will just need here to set up a redirection. So I click on redirect here, and since I have the redirect module enabled in dashboard, I scroll down here and I have to make sure to have the redirection module enabled. I will be able now to set up a redirection here and to make all the people that are trying to visit this link redirect to another link. Let's say that I want them to be redirected to my about page. So let's go to the about page. Let's copy and paste the URL. Okay. And let's copy it here. Okay, this is the about page. It will be a permanent move, so this URL is no more active, so I do not intend to make it active again, or anyway, it is not correct, and I want people to visit this page when they type in this URL. So let's click on add redirection, and now if I go to the redirections tab, I will see that this page will be redirected to this one, and this is a 301 redirection, so it's permanent, and I will be able also to see all the hits. So all the people that are clicking on the Pascal Claro URL and that are being redirected to the about one. Let's make a quick test now. I try to reload the page, which is the Pascal Claro page, and now instead of seeing the 404 page, I will see my about page. Let's just clear cache. Okay, perfect. You see, about WP Roads, my name is Pascal, and so on. So this is a quick example on how you can monitor all your 404 errors that are occurring on your page, and to avoid them, you can redirect them and just go here and show the right URL. Now, if you have done correctly all these steps before, after a few days or maybe some weeks, you will be able to type inside google.com site : and then the name of your website, and then voila, you see, by typing this into the search, you will be able to see which are the pages that Google has indexed of your website. So in this case, you see there is my home page, some category pages, and some articles and so on. So basically you can see all the pages that are indexed by Google of your website. In this case, I want to take control, of course, of all these pages. And as you can see here, each page has its own snippet. And snippets are constructed like this. They have the logo of your website, which is here. And basically this logo is often taken by Google by looking for your website favicon. So we'll see it together in a moment. This here is the URL of your website, but normally Google use this as the website title. And if you want to change it and you want to display here just the title of your website, you will need to do a couple of settings. I will show you later on how to do so. Then here you have the URL of your website. Here you have the title of the page. And here you have the excerpt of the page. Sometimes you can also be lucky enough, if you set up everything correctly, to have some rich snippets. Let me show you, for example, if I type on Google the website name just like this without spacing, I will see a sort of a simple rich snippet here, you see, that has also a featured image like this. And so this is just a quick example on how the rich snippets can work. But rich snippets can work in very different ways. You can have many links down here, you can have FAQs, you can have videos, and many stuff that are displayed into your snippets when you work well and you optimize them well for your website. So let me show you now how you can start by customizing the favicon and the title of your website, and then we will be optimizing the homepage. So we will optimize the title of the homepage, the excerpt, and all the SEO for the homepage, which is the main page of your website, and it is also the most important to start with when you start optimizing your website. Okay, so let's go on now. We'll just go into our website, into the dashboard, and in order to customize the favicon, we just need to go inside the site identity. Normally you can find it by going to the website and enabling the customizer. And generally you have this inside identity. You see here, you can upload your logo, you can change your site title, you can change the tagline, and of course here there is the site icon, which is this one, which is very important. They also recently enabled this feature when you go into the settings. So you go down here, settings, you go into general, and you see that you have the site icon even here. Before it was not possible, but now you have it here, and you can just upload the favicon there. And this favicon here is the same that Google will take in consideration when building up your snippets. You see, for example, in my case is this one. It is my logo with a transparent background, which is this one. Okay, perfect. If you want to change it, so change it from there and just upload your logo, the logo that you want Google to display here in your search snippets. And in my case, I will leave it like this at the moment, okay? And if you want to change the site title and be sure that Google will display here the site title and not the site URL as you're seeing here, you need to do a few things. Check the site title here in the general settings of your website. In my case is correct. I want this to be displayed, WP Roads. Then you will need also to go into your Rank Math settings. So you go to Rank Math, you go to Titles and Meta, and you just check the local SEO tab, which is this one. Remember also that if you want to see this settings, you need to display in the dashboard the local SEO module, which is this one. So enable this. And once you go back here, the website name should be this one. In my case, also the alternate name, I will put it the same here so that I will be sure that Google will find everywhere the name that I want to display. And then I will click on Save Changes. Perfect. Okay, so now if I wait for some weeks, maybe, yeah, it's always a little bit long, the process of updating snippets, but after a few weeks maximum, here I will see all the data updated, most likely. If I want to speed up this process, I also can go to the Search Console, Google Search Console, and when I'm inside here, I can just force the indexing of my homepage. So I can go to the URL inspection and I can insert right here my homepage. Oh, https www.wproads.com. This is my homepage. I want to see, voila, it's on Google. Page change it. Yes, of course, I will request the indexing. Okay, perfect. And now I know that if Google does his job correctly, it will be updated in a few days, I hope. Okay, so we'll come back here later in some days, and I will just check if in the search results my website title will be changed, and I hope so. Perfect. Okay, perfect. Here we can dismiss, and we just need to wait. Now let's go on by optimizing all the rest of your homepage. In this case, we just saw the basic snippets elements, and then we will optimize our homepage. So in this case, this is my homepage. You see, it has some content, some blog posts, and a few elements. So to optimize it with using Rank Math SEO options, you will just need to go and edit the page, and depending on the builder that you are using, you will need to follow some different steps. For example, here, if I am using Gutenberg, I just need to open this tab here and start optimizing by customizing the snippet, customizing the focus keyword, and so on. But if I'm using Elementor, I will need to open the Elementor builder or the Divi builder or Breakdance or whatever you're using to customize your website. And then inside here, you need to find the tab that has the Rank Math SEO settings. In our case here, you see that when we click on the plus icon to add more elements, we have this SEO element right here that just opens the Rank Math panel, and it lets us optimize all the homepage content. Okay, so basically this is what we are going to use right now to optimize our homepage, which is the most important page to optimize on our website. The first thing we can do here in order to be able to optimize this page is to change the page title into the page settings, and in my case I will call it exactly as my site, so it will be WP Roads. Okay, this is my title. I will publish. Okay, WP Roads. Then I go back to the plus icon and click on the SEO options. In my case I'm using Elementor, and I will just check here. Okay, WP Roads and WP Roads. Okay, perfect. Down here, I can also decide to insert a focus keyword. In my case, the main focus keyword, it will be WordPress tutorials. Okay, perfect. Or it can also be my website title. I can insert, of course, here more than one focus keyword, WP Roads. Okay. And down here, based on the keywords that you place inside here, of course, the focus keyword is the one that has the star right here, you see. And if you select them by clicking on them, you will be able to see down here all the suggestions and advices that Rank Math tells you to optimize your content. In my case, if I click on the WordPress tutorials keyword, I see that there are some basic SEO stuff that I can tweak around to make it better. There are some additional advice here and you can follow them. We will just see them together in a second, but now let's just go and take a look to the snippet here. As you can see, the snippet, it's a little bit weird, so we just need to customize it. And if we go back to the page settings, we can take advantage of the excerpt, because this one, it will be taken in consideration from Rank Math to display this the page excerpt. So here basically we can customize what it will appear when someone search for our website, for example, into the excerpt here. So instead of taking the first sentence of the content of the page, like you see here, we will be able to customize everything. So that's exactly what we want right now. And I will just type inside here the description of my website. Be careful here to insert all the main keywords of your homepage and more generally of your website. You can also write the text with AI, which is of course a great tool here inside Elementor, and you can take advantage of this even if you are in the free AI plan, because every Elementor website has a free AI starter tier, which is great and it's free. So this is my short description, the excerpt. I have the title of my website and I have my main keyword, which is here, and the rest is just a pure description. Maybe this is not rightly optimized, but it is just a starting point, because I have my two main keywords that I want to be indexed on. There are WordPress tutorials and WP Roads, which is exactly what I want. Okay, so now here we can just publish. Perfect. And so I have my title and my excerpt, and if I go back to the plus icon and I click on the SEO, now I can start seeing my snippet, which is being updated. Perfect. The next thing I can do is to optimize the title here, but since I do not want to change it right here because I want this title to be light and I just want to keep it like this, I will need to go back here and to change the SEO settings of the snippet. I go inside the snippet, I get rid of the site name at the end of the snippet, and I also get rid of the separator here because I do not need them into my homepage. I will just leave the title here, which is WP Roads, and then I will make the column and I will just insert here a short description, which will be my website title. So WordPress tutorials. Okay, so this will be my title, the name of my website, WordPress tutorials and reviews. So here I have my two main keywords, which are the website title and the main keyword, which is WordPress tutorials, both in the title and in the description below. So this is a great way to start and to optimize my homepage by using my main keywords. So this is perfect. Here I have my description, here I have my title, and basically I'm okay now. And I can just save and voila. And as you can see here, the page now starts being optimized correctly for the two keywords. The first one here, WordPress tutorials, and the second one, WP Roads, which is here. So we have now 78 on 100. This is kind of a score that Rank Math uses to show you how well you are optimizing your page, but you do not need to stick to it perfectly, because you just need to set up your page in a way that it will look good in search results, of course. Okay, now here we are using the focus keyword in the SEO title, which is this one. The SEO title contains my two focus keywords, which are WP Roads and WordPress tutorials. Down here, we are using the focus keyword inside the SEO meta description, which is this one that you can find in the snippet. This one here, perfect, which in our case is taken directly from the excerpt. Okay. And then we have the focus keyword appears in the first 10% of the content here. Yes, because we have WordPress tutorials here. Yes, WordPress tutorials here. And then we also have WP Roads here in the title. And what else? Yeah, maybe I should just insert here a few more text boxes which will describe the content of my website. Of course, this is a home page that needs to be optimized, because I would need to, yes, at least to insert a text box and maybe an image to just to amplify the description of the home page and the purpose of the website, of course. But anyway, this is a good job, and it kind of gets a basic optimization. Now we have also the focus keyword, which is found in the content, which is perfect. We have the content that is 260 words, and it's a good job. But here, if you want to dive deeper, you see that you should consider using at least 600 words. So yes, it depends, but in our case, it is just a basic level of optimization. Let's go on now and see some additional settings that we might consider to change here. This tells me that focus keyword is not found in subheadings like H2, H3, H4, and etc. For example, here, this is an H1, and this is one of my focus keywords. Here, this is an H2, and I do not have the focus keyword. You see, exploring the WordPress world. And here, this is a paragraph. Maybe here, featured content, I should use the keyword featured WordPress tutorial and reviews. This sounds great. So you see here, if I switch back now to my SEO tab, I will see that the error has been solved. You see, focus keyword found in the subheadings, because I have added one of my keywords, in my case the WordPress tutorial keyword, in one of my subheadings, which are H2, H3, H4, and so on. In my case, featured WordPress tutorials and reviews, you see. So I'm optimizing all this. Perfect. Now we can go on by following all the other advice, and as I was mentioning, you do not have to do them perfectly and strictly, but sometimes they are very, very interesting to follow. So if you are able to follow them easily, this is a great best practice. Otherwise, if it's just too kind of a mess, if you do not reach the 100%, is not important, of course. At least it's good to be above 70. Above 70, it will look great, of course. Now let's go on here. Add an image with your focus keyword as an alt text. You see here, for example, I should create another section right here in my page with an image and also another text. So I will be able to have more words in my content, and also an image with the alt text using the focus keyword, which will help Google understand the content of my website and of my homepage in this case. Now down here it says that the keyword density is 7.60, which is high. The focus keyword in combination appears 20 times. Okay, so this means that I should just add some more content, you see here, and to be able to dilute a little bit more my focus keyword density, and not to make it redundant into my content. Here it says that I am linking to other resources on my website, which is great. Okay, so I have some external and internal linking, which is great. So in my case, you see here, I am linking to some content inside my website, so to some posts and to some other pages that are key pages on my website. And I am also linking to some external resources, which are these, which are the WordPress tools that I recommend, for example. And so this is a kind of a good best practice to link to external and the internal content correctly. And down here, this is not an error, but is just an upsell because Rank Math is trying to sell me Content AI, which is a new product that they are using, that they are selling, and it is kind of an AI assistant that helps you create awesome content. And if you would like a tutorial on this, just let me know in the comment section below, because I am likely to to study this and to use it and to show you how to make the best of this great product. Okay. Title readability, focus keyword used at the beginning of the SEO title. This is a best practice, of course, because in my case, you see WP Roads, which is one of my main keywords, is at the beginning of the title, and even the focus keyword is the second word, so it is still at the beginning of the title. So this is great. Okay. Basically, I've optimized now my homepage snippet and also my homepage content, because you saw that I've changed this H2, etc. And in my case, I would just need to insert some more text and at least one image using the focus keyword. So I will show you how I will do this, and then we will go on by showing you how to optimize also blog posts and any other important part of your website. So let's go on. Now here I've added another section in my homepage where I've used an image, which is this one, and in the image I've used the focus keyword, which is the main keyword, which is this one, WP Roads or WordPress tutorials, one of the two focus keywords, and one of the two focus keywords. And in my case here, if I go and check the image, you see that the focus keyword is just present in the title. So there is the title of my website and the WordPress tutorials keyword, which is this one, and I'm not using an alt text, and I'm just using the automatic settings of Rank Math that set up the alt text for me. So if I go on Rank Math and go to the titles and meta, into the general settings here, I will see that in the images options, as I showed you before, I have set up add missing alt attribute by copying the same file name in this case. So in this case, you will see that the SEO suggestions here will be met, because here the image alt attribute is being generated automatically by Rank Math in this case, even if my image has not one. Okay, if you want to add it manually, you can just go here and type in the alt text right here by using the keywords, and that's it. So I have also added another text right here, and if I go to the plus icon into the SEO, I will see that now I am meeting more and more. Okay, perfect. More and more suggestions down here. I will just need to meet this one and this one if I want to be 100%, of course. Now to finish the homepage optimization, let's go and check how this page will look like when people will share it in social media, for example. And so we will need to go into the SEO settings, and we need to click here on the social media icon, which is this one. And when we click on it, we will see this pop-up where we can see how this page will look like when people will share it on social media. You see here on Facebook, for example, we will have the featured image. And even if I do not set up a featured image for this page, because if you go here, you see that the featured image is not set up. Since I have correctly set up a fallback featured image in the SEO settings, I will be able to show it correctly when I share my website to Facebook, for example, or to Google. And why this is happening? Because in my SEO settings, if I go into the titles and meta, on global meta, if I scroll down here, I see that in the open graph thumbnail, I've set up my fallback image, which will appear each time there is no featured image set up into a page, like in this case, you see. So let me check here into the Facebook page. If I go and share my website, which is this one, okay, the home page of my website. Let me check how it will look like. Okay, tack. Okay, and when I'm here, perfect, I will see the image, and I will see that the website is all the data is correctly updated, because I have my new title, which is here, and also my excerpt. If I want to change it here into the into the home page, I can go back to the plus, to the SEO tab, and then I can go to the social media and be sure here to change everything, whatever I want here. For example, I can change the title if I want to make it different on social media, and I can also change the excerpt. For example, here I can WP Road, I can just type in WordPress tutorials and reviews to help you find your WordPress way. Perfect. And this is it. And the same for Twitter. In this case, you will just be able to set up everything for this two social media like this. Okay, now in my case, I'm pretty satisfied here. We can just have a quick look and also a preview on mobile. And the website will look like this on mobile, which is okay, which is great. And okay, that's awesome. We'll just need to publish and save our page, and that's it. If you're having any trouble by updating all the content, you can just, as I showed you before, go to the Google Search Console, type inside here the URL of your homepage, so the URL of your website, and just click on Request Indexing. Because in this way, you're telling Google that you have done some changes to your pages, and you need this page to be updated on Google too. Like for example, in my case, if I type in WP Roads on Google, I see that there is still the old snippet, which is this one, which has not the new title and the new excerpt. And so I hope that doing this by requesting Google to index again the page, I will be able in a few days, or at least in some weeks, to be able to have the new version of my website right inside here. Of course, when you check this, be sure to do it into an incognito mode tab. For example, here I go on google.com. and I will just perform my website research, and I see that it is still looking like this, and so I will need to come back here in a couple of days and check if something has been updated correctly. Now in my case, I've just waited about a couple of days, even less, and Google has updated my snippet. So let's see what happens if I type inside Google the name of my website now. WP Roads, which is my main keyword, of course, because I want people to find me when they type the name of my business. I press enter, and voila, beautiful. You see the change? So in about less than 2 days, Google has updated everything here, and I have my I even have a rich snippet, which is great. You see, there is not only the snippet that has been updated with a new title and the new excerpt that I have inserted through Rank Math options, but I also have some internal linking. You see here that Google is displaying about my website. So some internal pages that can be interesting for people that want to dive deeper into my website and know more about my business, for example. So basically, we just went from this situation here where we just had an old snippet not optimized like this one here. Yes, there was this picture that was cool, yeah, of course, but nothing explanatory about my business. And we just jumped to this beautiful rich snippets with all my title and everything in place, and even some internal linking. So my title is optimized, my excerpt is optimized, and all the internal linking are well done. Perfect. Thanks to Rank Math. So this is great. You see, just by simply optimizing the homepage, as you saw before, I've just obtained a rich snippet like this one. This is beautiful. So basically, by doing the same steps also for all the other internal pages of your website, the about page, the contact page, the category pages, the blog post, as we will see together later on, you will be able to optimize basically all the pages and content of your website in this way. And of course, you will be more likely to obtain some rich snippets like the one that you're seeing right now, which is great. You see here that when I press inside here, voila, this is my homepage. I have my H1 title here with the main keyword, which is the name of my business. I have some secondary keywords here, which are more competitive and more difficult to rank for, but it's just a starting point here. Once I will start having more and more tutorials about WordPress and Elementor and so on, it will be easier for me to rank even for complicated keywords like this one. And when I scroll down here, I have also added a new section that is kind of an about section that lets me some space to insert some more keywords, some more content, and I could also improve this by adding some examples and some other stuff inside here. But anyways, this is just a starting point, and I wanted to show you how you can optimize your homepage to be found on Google exactly this way, which is the main objective to start. So when someone types the name of your website inside Google, you will be able to display a result like this one. I hope that you will reach this result too. Not everyone is suitable for a rich snippet, but in general, if you work well, when people type the name of your business and you have optimized at least the homepage, as I saw you in the steps before, you will most likely obtain a rich snippet like this one. So I hope that it will be the case for you too, and let's jump to the next steps. Now that we have optimized our homepage and the SEO is fine on our homepage, we can go on Rank Math Settings and we can select the SEO Analyzer if you want to. It is not mandatory, but it is a good thing to do if you want to just to check the overall SEO optimization of your homepage. So let's click here, in my case, on Restart SEO Analyzer. You will have a button here, Start Analyzing the Website. You click on this button, and after a few seconds, you will see a quick overview of your homepage optimization. You see here the score is pretty good, okay? We can just see a preview of our homepage snippet, which is this one, with the excerpt, the title, and the favicon and the website URL. Perfect. And as we scroll down here, we will see all the tests, the past tests and the failed tests. And in the failed tests, you see here there are some indications here that Rank Math just point out. The first one is about image alt attributes. There are a few images on my homepage that are missing the alt attribute, which is weird because I've asked Rank Math to place the alt attribute automatically. But anyway, these are all the WP Roads logo and other. Yes, so these are not very important images, so I can also bypass this information here. It is not mandatory to make all green check marks, of course. Focus keywords, there are 15 posts and 8 pages and 1 resource with no focus keywords. So this is basically telling me that my pages and posts are missing focus keywords, which are and if I set them up, of course, I will be able to receive more information from Rank Math to be able to optimize all my content, as we just saw for the homepage. But we will dive deeper into this also in the next steps, where we will see how to optimize the other pages and the posts of your website. And down here we have post titles missing focus keyword. Okay, perfect. We will just see this also later on. And performance, here I have a few advice on how to improve performance on my website. It tells me to minify CSS, to use less page objects, and to decrease the response time if I can do it. So basically these are all kind of optimization processes that I can put in place to optimize my website. I'm using the Lightspeed Cache plugin in my case here, and if I will have the time, I will also maybe create a tutorial about this plugin, which is a free plugin, by the way, and it works perfectly with Hostinger, and it lets you just create a beautiful environment where your website will load very fast and it will be completely optimized. In my case, I'm just using kind of a preset configuration, and I will need to go inside here and just tweak around a little bit to be able to make everything even more powerfully optimized, of course. Okay, so now let's go back to the SEO analysis. Basically here you can come from time to time when you need to check the overall optimization of your homepage and of the whole website. And you can run a test just to have a quick overview of all your SEO optimization. Okay, I must say that I'm pretty good here, because 79 on 100 is already pretty good, and we just can keep it like this for the moment. And let's go on with the other steps of the tutorial. Now that you saw how to optimize a basic page like the home page, you should do the same for all the other important pages on your website. So you can go on all pages, and right inside here you can go inside each and every page that is kind of a key page for your website, and simply optimize it for your focus keywords. The focus keyword, of course, is not mandatory, but it is kind of a best practice to use it, because in this way you can optimize your page and all the content for some specific keywords that you want to rank for. For example, here this will be very easy for me, because this is my about page, and remember here to open Elementor if your pages are edited and created with Elementor or with Divi or with any other page builder, sorry, which is compatible with Rank Math. And otherwise, if the pages are just built with Gutenberg, you can just stay in Gutenberg, and as I will show you later on, you can simply go here and edit Rank Math settings from inside Gutenberg. But in my case, I will open Elementor as we did for the home page, and here I can go on optimizing. For example, here I've changed the title, the H1 title of my page, which is the most important one. Of course, here I can insert my main keyword. In my case, Pascal Claro WP Rhodes is the thing that I want to rank for my about page. When someone types my name and the name of my brand, in my case, yeah, I want to be found on my about page. And I can even go further and insert here an about if I want. Okay, but this could become a little bit longer. So yeah, in my case, I will just get rid of the about. And you can also optimize the title. In my case, it's not that, yeah, I would leave it just on about here, but I can of course insert here an excerpt as we just did for the homepage, for example. Here in my case, I will use the excerpt to insert also some other focus keywords, WordPress tutorials. Okay, so here I'm introducing myself. Hi, I'm Pascal Claro. I've created WP Rhodes to share my WordPress passion, providing WordPress tutorials and reviews to help you find your WordPress way. If I want, I can also set up a featured image here. And basically, that's it. Let's go back to our SEO settings here. Okay, and here I can also how would you say, yes, maybe improve a little bit my title and some other stuff here. So maybe here I will just type in Pascal Claro. Pascal Claro, creator of WP Rhodes, about. Yeah, that's perfect. Exactly what I wanted. So in my case, I can also, as I was mentioning, set up a focus keyword. It is not mandatory, so don't become mad about finding a focus keyword at every cost. In my case, this is just a simple page and a kind of a service page, yeah, an internal page. Of course, I want to rank with this page, but it is not so important at the moment. And even if the about page is a key page for someone that wants to know more about your business. And in my case, the focus keyword will be the same as my title. So Pascal Claro, WP Rhodes. And even if it's red, it is not a problem because I do not need to optimize it that much. And as you can see here, there are some advice that Rank Math gives to me. And so let's follow them very quickly, the same as we did for the homepage. In this case, I will get rid of the creator of so that the main keyword will be more visible. Pascal Claro, WP Rhodes, about. Very easy, you see? This is exactly what I wanted to obtain. Perfect. Publish the page, and now this new snippet will be visible when people try to find me by typing Pascal Claro WP Rhodes, and I want them to see my about page. Now if I go back to my pages, okay, remember that in order to see the new page with the updated results when you search for this page on Google, like in my case now if I type in about WP Rhodes, I will still see the old snippet, which is this one, and in a couple of days I will be able to see the new one. If I want to speed up the process, I can also tell Google to update the content of this snippet by going to the Google Search Console as I just showed you in the previous steps. Now let's go on. You should do the same optimization steps for all the pages. And once you start adding focus keywords, you will see that the SEO details column here will show the focus keyword here and also the SEO ranking about your website optimization. So very easy here. And you also have a quick preview of all the links that are contained on all your pages. And if your page is using schema, in this case, the schema is off because I do not need it in my about page in my case. If you want to hide this column here or maybe show it or show different columns, you can go to screen options. You have the SEO details, which are the basic details about your page SEO. You also have the SEO title and the SEO description. This could be helpful if you want to edit in bulk all these kind of elements here. For example, here when you type on the pencil, you can see that you can edit the focus keyword. For example, you can change it. You can again, you can do basically whatever you want about this. So it's very easy. And you can do the same for the title and the SEO description if you want to change it right from here. Okay, That's very easy. And so now it's your job to optimize, well, all the main pages of your website. Now we're just arrived to the most important part, to the most interesting part, I will say, of this tutorial, which is the optimization of a whole blog post. And in this example, I will show you also how you can rank with a blog post from 0. I wasn't present in the Google search results for that specific keyword to the first page. After the optimization that you will see in the next steps, I just waited for 2 days and I was able to be present in the first page of the search results for the specific focus keyword that I was trying to rank for. And I will share with you also some great tips to improve your own content optimization. For example, I will show you how to insert images and to optimize them to even rank better, to select some focus keywords and some multiple focus keywords to optimize all your content, your headings, your paragraphs, and so on. And also, of course, to how to follow the Rank Math suggestions to optimize your content, which is not mandatory, but is a kind of a step-by-step guide to follow each time you create new blog posts. So this is very, very important and is kind of a part of the tutorial that I love, and I hope that you will enjoy it and kind of receive from this part of the video some good information for your own business. So if it will be the case, give me a thumbs up, please. Thank you in advance, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. See you in the next part of the tutorial. Let's see now how you can optimize a blog post using Rank Math. Rank Math is very, very powerful, and it will help you rank for any kind of blog post. Of course, if your blog post has good content, good high quality content. So let's see here how you can optimize a basic blog post, like in this case, this one. I will follow with you all the steps that I need to optimize it, to improve the quality of the content and to make it rank on Google. So now at the moment, if I copy and paste the exact title of my blog post on an incognito mode page like this, I see that I am already indexed here on Google, but it is not very optimized. You see, is right here, and it kind of missed some optimizations. In general, I need to shorten the title and make it more sticky to kind of a focus keyword that I don't have at the moment. And the same thing here for the description, for the excerpt. So basically the first thing I need to do is to work on my focus keyword. And it is not that easy to work on focus keywords, but we have some tools that can help us to find the correct and exact focus keywords based on the search intent of people, of users on the internet. So in my case here, my tutorial and my blog post is about how to create a mobile menu optimized with Elementor, and in general is a kind of off canvas or slide out menu, because I've done some research and no one uses slide in menu, but everyone talks about slide out menu. And so maybe I need to change here my keywords inside the title and inside my blog post. Okay, so the first thing I will need to do is to change the title and to set up a focus keyword. So to do so, we can also use some quick researches. As I was mentioning to you, when I'm searching for this keyword here, Elementor slide in menu, it just comes out with slide out and mobile menu or off canvas. You see here pop up, because these are all the keywords that are linked to this kind of menu. So basically I found out that I have done a mistake in my keyword, and I will change it. And the other thing that you can use to also to have a preview of the volume amount of your keywords is to use this free tool, which is called Ahrefs. And in this case, if you select Google and you enter, for example, your keyword, in my case is Elementor mobile menu, for example, you can have some kind of insights on the search volume of your keyword and also of the keyword difficulty, so the kind of the competition that there is about that keyword to rank on Google. In this case, I'm playing with some very easy keywords because there is not much traffic and volume about these keywords, but it's perfect to start. And if you start positioning yourself good with this keyword that are easy, you can easily then scale also the most difficult ones that are, for example, Elementor tutorial. Look here. If I place Elementor tutorial in this case and I type into my find keywords, you see that this is hard and is more than 100 per month. So the volume starts to be more interesting here. And if you write some articles that are more easy to place in the SERP, in the search engine's first page, and then you link these articles to your main article that has a more difficult keyword, you have many chances to get ranked also for the difficult keywords. So in my case, I have many articles that are easy, like this one, mobile menu. Okay, and I think I will go with a title that includes some of these phrase matches. For example, this one is interesting, or maybe yes, this one is good because it's exactly what I explained in the tutorial. Is this one Elementor mobile pop-up, and even full screen. I can add a full screen because it's inside many keywords, so many searches. So yes, why not Elementor mobile menu pop-up? Okay, I will just simplify my title here. So let's go inside the post, and I suggest you also to create all your posts using the native Gutenberg editor. In this case, as you can see here, the template is built using Elementor. So the header, of course, the post content here is built using Elementor, the breadcrumbs, the title, the video embedding, the table of content, anything that is design, and also the author box here, and the comment replies, etc. And also this widget here. Everything here is built with a Elementor template, which is called, in my case, as you can see here, tutorial template. I've created a template which has been assigned to all my tutorials, but the actual content, as the title and all the other elements, are created using Gutenberg. You see here, all the content is created inside Gutenberg, and then the output is like this in Elementor. And this is the best way to proceed, because if by any chance tomorrow or in a year or in 10 years you want to switch from Elementor to Gutenberg or from Elementor to another page builder, this structure here will let you do it in a smoothless way, in a perfect way, without having to go back and forward to each and every blog post of your website. And this is great if you have hundreds of blog posts. You will save a ton of time. And here I'm also using ACF with some custom data, for example the video URL, the logo of the software that I'm sponsoring during the tutorial, and some quick links that I need to highlight during the tutorial. That are these links you see here that are highlighted here in this widget. By the way, this is not the tutorial dedicated to this, but if you want to dive deeper into how to create an advanced template like this, I have a full 8-hour tutorial about Elementor and Elementor Pro, and how to set up also a blog like this one with the template build exactly like this, with a flexible template built with Elementor Pro theme builder, and with the content of the blog post built like this. So let's go on now with our title. We need to change the title. It's too long, and it is not kind of expressive of the real actual content. We can make it better. So in my case, I will change it to this. I will make it, as I was mentioning here, I will make it something more like Elementor mobile menu pop-up. Yes. Okay. How to create? Yeah, I think that I will get rid of the how to create. I will make it just like this. Okay, it doesn't work. Okay, if I copy and paste, so I will just write here Elementor mobile menu pop-up. Okay. I will add then the tutorial keyword, which is very important, even if it would be better if tutorial is near Elementor. But yeah, if I want, I can also tweak around by making it like this. For example, mobile menu pop-up, Elementor tutorial. And then I can also write down the two other keywords in the title that are off canvas and slide out. Like this, you see. Now I have all my keywords because I have mobile menu pop-up Elementor tutorial, off canvas, slide out menu. Perfect. That's great. It's kind of still a little bit crowded, so I will try to optimize it a little bit. After doing some research and diving deeper into my keywords, I saw that the most used keyword here is off-canvas mobile menu. So in this case, I will change my title to this, off-canvas menu Elementor tutorial, or maybe even off-canvas mobile menu is even better. So I will use as a focus keyword off-canvas mobile menu. So let's go here, off-canvas mobile menu, and of course Elementor. Okay, now this is a pretty long focus keyword, but in my case it's okay because I need this to be my focus search intent. So when people type into the browser of Canvas mobile menu Elementor, they will eventually land on my tutorial. Then I have also Elementor tutorial that are placed together here, which is great. And basically I think that I can stay like this. If I want, I can also add also the current here. This is a very good practice here in tutorial in general, but in many kind of posts it is good to show the current here beside the title, because like this people see that the blog post is always up to date and it is not something old and like this not updated. So let's go here. And we see that in our title here, we also have the site name and the separator. And in some cases like this one, I do not need it that much. So I will get rid of the separator and the title, you see here, and the site name. So we'll just cancel like this. And I will be able to insert here my current here. I go into the variables and I search simply for year. Okay, current here. And voila. I can even put it into brackets if I want, like this. And I can even make it updated 2024, for example. This is kind of interesting because like this people, if they find multiple, of course, results in the SERP, in the search engine results page, if they see that this one is updated in the current year, maybe they are most likely to click on this one. So now that we have optimized this for this keyword, which is off canvas mobile menu Elementor, we need to do the same in the URL and in the post excerpt. This is very, very, very important. So how to do so? We just need to go to the settings of this post and we need to go to the URL here. You see, once we click on the URL, we will be able to modify it. In this case, this is the old URL. And if I want to change it, I need also to remember to do a redirection. So basically, this is very important. Let's copy and paste the old URL, which is this one. And let's keep it into a notebook, for example, here. I will just paste it here, perfect. And then let's go on by continuing our optimization. We will basically just change the URL here to match our new keyword, which are this. In my case, I will just copy and paste the same of the title. So we'll go back here into the URL, select and get rid of this one and insert the new one. Okay. And let me check it now. This is the new one, perfect. Let me go and update now my post. Okay, view post. And now the most important thing you have to do is to update, to do a redirection to the old URL to the new one. You see, because I have changed my focus keywords also in the URL. And let's see if WordPress will handle this automatically. Sometimes even RankMath has an advanced solution to handle this automatically. Let's see. I'll try to visit this URL. And there is a 404 page, so this is very bad. Let's go now on RankMath SEO. We go to the redirection. We go and say redirect this page. You see here, there is this option here, redirect this page. Okay, redirection, redirect this page. And then we will put on the new URL. This is very important because if your blog post is already indexed in Google, it is very important to redirect the old URL to the new one. Okay, add redirection. Perfect. And here I can also monitor the number of hits that the old URL will receive. Perfect. Then I can also go, and there is a 301 redirection type, so Google will understand that the content has permanently been moved to the new URL, and so most likely it will update the URL that has in the archive of the indexing. Okay, so this is our new structure, and what we can do now is to optimize also the excerpt. This is very important, and you see that as we are proceeding here by the optimization, we will see that all the red axis will become a green tick like this, green check marks. And so let's go on now optimizing the post excerpt, which we just can go here into the post excerpt. We scroll down, okay, and then we change this to how to create a off canvas mobile menu Elementor. Oh, let's do it like this, more smart. It would be like this: off canvas mobile menu Elementor tutorial. colon, like this, off canvas mobile element tutorial, colon, and then it will be how to create a full width mobile menu with Elementor Pro pop-up builder. So now I have other keywords that are, for example, in my case, full width mobile menu, which is also a keyword which is searched by people, Elementor Pro, and pop-up builder also. This is perfect. So off canvas mobile menu Elementor tutorial, colon, how to create a full width mobile menu with Elementor Pro. I can also add responsive because it's a keyword that is used in this kind of searches. How to create a responsive full width mobile menu with Elementor Pro pop-up builder. Okay, this is great. So let's see if I add some other keywords here. You see here I have some keywords that I've just noted. So Elementor mobile menu, pop-up, slide out. Yeah, I didn't use slide out, so maybe I can use it here. Off canvas mobile menu, Elementor tutorial, how to create a responsive full width mobile menu, slide out mobile menu. So I have all the keywords inside here. This is a really, okay, how to create a responsive full width slide out mobile menu with Elementor Pro pop-up. Perfect, this is perfect. So I have basically all the keywords that are used by people that are searching this kind of tutorial. Responsive and full screen, these are all the main keywords. Then here there are all the keywords that people will try to search also as a secondary query, and so I will put them inside the text of my blog post. So let's go here and let's see all the ticks. You see all the check marks are starting to become green because I'm optimizing all the main parts of my blog post. And in this case, since my focus keyword is off canvas mobile menu Elementor, you see here that it is suggesting me to put this focus keyword in the title, in the post excerpt, and in the description, exactly, and in the URL, exactly as we did together right now. Now we just need to go and optimize the content. So this is very easy because I found a tool which is great, which will convert all the content of a video, of a YouTube video, into a blog post. This is awesome, guys. This is beautiful. You see here it's free. I hope that this will stay online forever because it's a beautiful tool. And basically you paste your YouTube video here, you click generate post, and it will generate a post from a YouTube video. This is incredible. In my case, since I have just created a YouTube video and I don't have much time to optimize it and to transform it into a blog post, this tool here, it saves me a lot of time, and it basically creates a blog post from my video content, which is exactly what I needed. In this case, you see here I have my video, and I will copy and paste my video content right here to create a great structure, and I will use my keywords exactly as I will show you in a moment. Let's start now by optimizing the content. So down here we see that, of course, I have my important links. In this I will not touch it, I will leave it like this. But here I have my first title, which is an H2 title, and I will change it to something containing the focus keyword. As you can see here, the focus keyword doesn't appear at the beginning of my content, and it says also that focus keyword doesn't appear in the content itself. So I will try to make this better by changing this title here and inserting my focus keyword. So in this case, I will change the title to something like this: Off Canvas Mobile Menu Elementor Complete Tutorial. And you see here now I have the focus keyword that appears in the first 10% of the content, which is great, and it is a best practice. And I also have the focus keyword found in the content itself. Down here it says that my content should be at least 600 words, and I'm pretty near that because I have 583 words. Okay, so I just need to add 1 or 2 paragraphs. And okay, so let's optimize it. I will suggest you here to use inside the content, of course, your focus keyword, which is this one, and most of all, also all the other semantic related keywords. In my case, the semantic related keywords are all the keywords that people are searching when they search for that kind of tutorial, like these keywords here, but also all these other keywords that are without plugin, no code, pop-up builder, Elementor Pro, Elementor Tutorial, Elementor Pro Tutorial, and so on. So I will try to place all these keywords inside the content, and maybe I will choose the most important one to place it as a secondary focus keyword. This is kind of an advanced way to optimize your posts, but it can help in some ways and in some cases. For example, here I can also type in Elementor pop-up menu. Since it seems to be also the secondary keyword. Okay, Elementor pop-up menu is a kind of a cool secondary keyword, and I can place it inside the content. If I want, I can also use some other keywords, like for example, Elementor slide out menu. Okay, like this, I will place it here, Elementor slide out menu, and then I will try to optimize the content by placing these keywords inside the content and maybe also inside some H2 or H3 titles. So let's go on now by optimizing all the other stuff inside my post. I can also be more human readable if I place my keyword not using the exact focus keyword, like in my case off-canvas mobile menu Elementor. In my case here, in one of the title, I've just placed off-canvas menu with Elementor Pro, just to be more more nice and more readable, yes. And so don't worry if you do not match all the green check marks for all the advice that you receive from RankMath, because they are just kind of a bit limiting, but yes, sometimes they can be useful. So just worry. Of course, the basic SEO are the most important ones, but if you are trying to rank for a specific keyword like this one, don't be afraid to use it even in a slightly different way inside and throughout the rest of the content. Okay, down here you see I've added a keyword here, which is this one, and is Elementor slide out menu, which is one of my secondary focus keyword, which is this one. But it's still very important because many people will search for it in the net. So let's highlight it. If you want, you can also highlight the keywords in your text. This is also something that can help the reader find out something more about your content. And then let's go on by adding some more keywords inside the content. Okay, so here I have started adding some other keywords. So here, Elementor mobile menu, it is also one of my secondary keywords. So I will just place it here, Elementor mobile menu. Okay, Elementor mobile menu right here, perfect. Okay, and then I will also add some other keywords. This one, it's off canvas mobile menu in Elementor. In this case, I have to use the in element here to make it more readable, because even if my focus keyword is off canvas mobile menu Elementor, it would be of course useful to insert some how do you say, some language parts, like in this case in, to make it more readable. That will look modern, easy to use, and so on. Okay, perfect. So this is my first paragraph, and it contains basically all my basic keywords here. I can even optimize it even more, but in general, I'm pretty okay with it, because it lets people understand what it's all about, and also most of all, it lets Google crawl better our content and see what it's all about. In my case, off canvas mobile menu in Elementor. Here I also have an image. I will suggest you to use at least 1 or 2 images for your blog posts, and like this you can also optimize this image using the title optimization and the alt text optimization. So in my case here, I will just go and optimize this image, and as you can see here, if I go into the additional tab here, I see that my image needs an alt text and needs to be optimized in this case. So let's see, and let's go and see how it works. I can select the image. In my case, I'm using Gutenberg standard image block, and I can go and describe the purpose of this image. In my case, it's just an example to showcase the kind of menu that we will realize we'll create together during the tutorial. So I will just be writing down here the first keywords that are Elementor mobile menu, okay, and then I will write down example of a of canvas mobile menu Elementor. Okay, I should also include maybe in, but in this case, just to show you that I'm becoming green in RankMath. That's great. And if I insert here in, It is okay. It is still okay. So great, perfect. Let's go in the check marks here. If the additional here, you see here, focus keyword is found in the image alt attribute. So perfect. It is not that sensitive. So if I insert my in, it still stays okay. It says that my focus keyword density is still appears 3 times, which is kind of good, but not green. I do not know why, but you can also dive deeper into all these settings by clicking on the question mark and just read all about the keyword density. In my case, I just found out that Rank Math says that Google, when it scans basically your content, it is capable, of course, to see all the keyword density. And if you're trying to rank for a specific keyword or multiple keywords, like in our case here, the best practice is to keep the keyword density between 1 and 1.5% without overseeding this percentage, because it will result in a kind of keyword stuffing, and so Google won't recognize this as a good best practice. On the opposite side, it will just kind of penalize your content. So the keyword density that is above 2.5 will be very, very dangerous. So let's get between 1 and 1.5. In our case here, as you analyze here, you see that we have just 4 times appearances of our keywords, and the keyword density is 0.52%, so we just need to increase it a little bit. And of course, Rank Math, as we have 4 keywords here, the main one, the focus one, and the secondary keywords, it is just calculating this by mixing up all the 4 keywords together. So in our case, all the 4 keywords are appearing just 4 times, and they have a focus keyword density about 0.52. We can increase it, and to increase this, we just need to insert the focus keyword inside the content, inside titles or inside the content itself, paragraphs. Okay, so let's start by inserting some focus keywords inside the content. For example, here I have Elementor mobile menu, and this first sentence is perfect to optimize it. So I will get rid of the Elementor Pro. I will just write inside here Elementor mobile menu widget. Okay, and if I scroll down here, you will see that my keyword appears now 5 times, and the focus keyword is 0.5 density, 0.65 density instead of 0.50. And here, to go the extra mile, you should also use some semantic related keywords, which means that are all the keywords that people will search most likely when they will search for content like yours. And in my case, the semantic related keywords are not only these keywords that you see here in the focus keyword box, but also keywords like full width, or for example responsive, or any other keyword that is related to my main content. So I will place it. I will place one right here. And for example, the standard Elementor mobile menu is very limited when we want to optimize it for tablet and mobile devices. To optimize it, and let's insert here and make it truly responsive for tablet and mobile devices. So in this case, responsive is another keyword which I do not need to insert right here because it's too generic, but since it's used into a context that is linked to, in this case, Elementor mobile menu, of course Google will understand that this is kind of reinforcing the content, and so if someone searches for Elementor responsive mobile menu, I will most likely get more chances to rank on Google when people search that kind of keywords, even if they didn't type the exact keyword that I'm working on to optimization, for example, of Canvas mobile menu Elementor. And of course, remember that sometimes even if you insert a kind of word between some elements, instead of using the exact focus keyword that people will use in search engines, like in my case, I insert here in the in, of course, if I get rid of this, you will see that here we'll have the green check mark because it will recognize it as a focus keyword. Instead, if I use the in here, it will say that no, it is missing, but it is not true because Google knows that this is the same keyword, of course. So we will leave it like this. It is more readable and more enjoyable. This is the main thing to keep in mind when we are creating our content, that it is not for Google in the first place, but for users, of course. Now down here we have the Elementor slide out menu, which is a focus keyword. Okay, so now I've added even another keyword, and I am 0.87. And I hope now that Google will recognize the value of my content. And of course, as I was mentioning before here, keep in mind that the most important thing here is to stay below 2. So in general, the best results are between 1 and 1.5. And in my case, I'm still pretty good like this, and I will leave it like this. But yes, try to reach between 1 and 1.5, and that will work good. Now I am uploading an image because I want to have more images. Since this is a tutorial, of course, it's important to have also images. If I want to offer the users the alternative, they can either watch the video or read of course, the written content of the tutorial, the written version of the tutorial. So in my case, the images should contain all the keywords. At least 1 or 2 keywords. In my case, as you can see here, I have some keywords in the title of the file, of the image file, and I have also some of my secondary keywords, which are very important too. And so, if I want, I can also put them in the alt text. In this case, it will be how to create an off-canvas mobile menu Elementor tutorial. And in this case, I will describe also the purpose of this image, creating an Elementor Pro template, an Elementor Pro pop-up, voila, pop-up template, or yeah, pop-up. Perfect. So let's select this image here and put it in the content. In my case, it will look like this. Perfect. And I'm kind of getting some good optimization settings right here. Okay, and then I can add 1 or 2 images more, and then I will be able to wrap it up and see all the other remaining errors to watch it and to explain to you how you can solve all of them. Okay, so now basically I have optimized all my blog posts, and I will show you step by step what did I do. So you already saw that I have optimized the title and some subheadings, inserting my focus keyword. Then I've also choose some secondary keywords, which are very important for my blog post in this case, because they are all keywords that people will search for when they search for a content like mine. So I have just put them right here, and I'm being able to optimize the content also for this secondary keyword. In fact, here, if I select the first one, the focus keyword, you will see all these indications right down here that are just based on this keyword. While if I select, for example, this one, when I scroll down, I see that all these indications will be about this secondary keyword. And this one, you will see down here, all these are just advice that I can apply to this keyword and so on. So I can basically select all the different secondary keywords to have more information about how I can optimize even further. But keep in mind that once you are above 70 in general, it is just quite good. And don't search to have at least at any cost the green light here, because it's not that important, of course. When you scroll down, you will see that I've just followed all these basic SEO rules that are very important. So I basically have the focus keyword in the SEO title, which is just the off-canvas mobile menu Elementor tutorial. Okay, perfect. Then what do I have here? I have the focus keyword into the SEO meta description, which is just the excerpt, which is taken automatically. There is also the focus keyword in the URL, which is very important too. There is the focus keyword in the first 10% of the content, okay, which is at the beginning of the tutorial. Of course, this is here, as you can see, perfect. And then I have the focus keyword in the content, okay, this is here, okay. And then my content is above 600 words, which is good job, okay. If I want to make it even longer, I can, but in my case, it's just a kind of a secondary blog post. It is not a pillar content, so I would go okay with 700 words. It is okay for me. Then I go to the additional tab, and I can see that my focus keyword is found in the subheadings, which is meaning that I am using it in my subheadings, H2, H3, and so on. You see here, my focus keyword is inside some subheadings. And then my focus keyword is found in image alt attribute. For example, here, if I open this image and I go to the setting of this image, I see that in my alt text, I've used my focus keyword to describe the purpose of this image in my case. Of course, this is not mandatory if you're using images images that are purely decorative, and you just need them to enhance your content without adding any information, adding new information. In my case, this is a tutorial, so you see the images are very important, and I have added the alt text to explain what I'm showing inside the image right here. Okay, let's go on here to showcase all the other optimization steps. We have the keyword density, which it is okay. The URL is short enough, so this is okay. This means that the URL should be not very long. In my case, as you can see here, the URL is 62 characters, which is great, because otherwise, sometimes if you have very, very long URLs, can be kind of weird and strange sensation for the user, and it is not that good. Then here you have, or we have linking external resources. So what did I do here? Since I am talking about Elementor, and since I am also an Elementor affiliate, what I'm doing is like this. You see here, if I go and view the post, I am using an affiliate link at the beginning, which is this one. And when people click on this link, they will be redirected to the Elementor Pro website. You see here, to the Elementor Pro page where they can buy Elementor Pro. And what happens here is that I'm linking, yes, of course, to an external resource, but since I'm using a system that manages my affiliate link, which is an internal system, how do you say, yes, Google will see my link as an internal link, or anyway, it will see that it is an internal link that is redirecting to an external link. So this is kind of, yes, it is best practice for affiliates, but it means not that much to Google. And what means much to Google is when you link directly to an external, very authoritative resource, like in my case, the Elementor website, of course. So here I'm talking about Elementor Pro, of course, and at the end of the tutorial of the post, I've just linked a plain elementor.com link. In my case, to the premium page. So when I click here, I'll be redirected to this page, and this is not an affiliate link, but I'm placing this link inside here to kind of get some authority to the fact that I'm linking to the main, of course, to the main website that I'm talking about here, because Elementor Pro website is of course the website that I'm referring to when I'm doing some tutorials about Elementor Pro. So Google will see that in my resource here, in my post, I am linking to a plain elementor.com link, which is a great solution, which is a great thing. So RankMath is saying to me, good job, you are linking to some external resources here. So, and I'm linking to some related external resources, since I'm linking the very official Elementor website. So if you're doing an article about New York Times, you should link the New York Times website, of course. This is just an example. At least one external link with do follow found in your content, which is just the link that I showed you. Here, if I go and edit my content, I will see that this link is a do follow link, since it has no follow values. You see here, I didn't set up to nofollow, and if you do not set up a nofollow, it means that this link will be a follow link, a do follow link. So this is great, and it is not sponsored because it's a free link that I'm putting inside my content. And of course, I will suggest you to open this link in a new tab, of course, because it is an external link that will drive traffic outside your website. Then if we go on by seeing all the other optimizations, we have also okay, we are linking to other resources on our own website, which is great. And as show you here, for example, at the end of the video, I'm linking to my ultimate Elementor tutorial, which can be interesting for people that are searching for Elementor tutorials in general. And so basically, if they click on this link, they will be redirected, just redirected to another page on my website, which is this one, where I have a full 8-hour guide on how to create from scratch an Elementor Pro website, like this. And this is great. So we see that there is a great value in linking internal resources on our website. And I also have another internal link, which is this one. You see, when I talk about Elementor headers, I have just inserted a link. So if people want to see what do I have in my website about Elementor headers, they will see that I have another tutorial just about how to create optimized Elementor headers with Elementor Pro, which is this one. You see here, kind of you need to link your internal resources, and you need also to have a balance with external resources, as I just did in my article here. And so basically, this is what RankMath is talking about right here. I haven't used the focus. You haven't used the focus keyword before. Okay, perfect. So it means that this is my only article on my blog that is talking about this specific focus keyword. And this is not an error, but it's just an upsell, which says that if you want to create content even faster, you have this beautiful, product, which is produced by RankMath team that is called Content AI. Maybe I will just test it out. I don't know if I will have the time, but if you would like a tutorial about Content AI, just let me know in the comment section below. Title, readability. Here there is something we can also improve. We have the focus keyword that is used at the beginning of our SEO title, which is great because as you can see here, we have the focus keyword used at the beginning of the title, but we are not using a positive or negative sentiment, and we are not using a power word. So in this case, I will match two of these boxes by making them become green by using a simple word at the beginning of my title, which will be just this one, beautiful. You see here, beautiful off-canvas mobile menu Elementor tutorial. You see here that now I have a positive or negative sentiment because I'm inspiring something positive to people when they read beautiful off-canvas mobile menu. Wow, this is great. And then here I'm using a power word because beautiful is considered as a power word because it evokes in the emotion. It evokes some positive emotion in the reader, and so the reader will be more likely to click on this on this title when they see a power word like this one. This is great. This is very simple and very useful. So let's leave it like this. We will just need now to consider the content readability. And as you can see here, we are using a table of content. We are using short paragraphs. As you can see here, each paragraph is divided by a space. You see, there are no long paragraphs, which is great for readability. And our content contains images and or videos, which is great. I have a video at the beginning of my content. Oh, let me show you here. Here's the video. I have a table of content, I have short paragraph, and I have images that are kind of illustrating all the steps that you can take in order to configure your pop-up menu like this. Perfect. This is a great post, and I'm very happy to show you how you can optimize a blog post, because you remember we started with a very unoptimized post and now everything is optimized. To use a table of contents, you can use the one that is provided with Elementor if you are using Elementor, or otherwise you can also use the one that is provided with RankMath. If you go on the RankMath tools, if you go on RankMath dashboard here, and you enable and you go to the general settings, you will see that you have some block settings which are exactly about your table of contents. You see here. And so if you go to the Gutenberg editor and you type inside here RankMath, you will see that you have a table of contents by RankMath. You see, you enable this and you can simply have some quick options here on the right side. You can decide if you want to exclude, for example, the H3, and you just need to have the H2 tags right here, and you want maybe to exclude also the H1 and so on. You can also have some quick styling options right here. And if you want to change the title, you can do it from here. You can also change the title globally from the SEO settings right here. You can also change the type of styling of the list here, numbered, unordered, or none. If you choose numbered, for example, and you save changes and you go back here, when you update and reload the page, you will see that instead of having dots here, you will have just numbers. Or yeah, in my case it's not working, but normally this should work. Oh yes, you can change it even right from here. This is quite easy, okay. And basically that's it. So you can use the RankMath block to do so. But in my case, I'm using a template built with Elementor that is just using the table of contents provided by Elementor, which is great. So I will just need to update my content now. Perfect. Oh, the last thing I wanted to tell you about the blog post optimization is that once you finish setting up everything, let's close all the other windows, and otherwise we will just get lost into all this stuff. Okay, here you will just need to ping the search engines to tell them that your page, your post is ready to be indexed. So what about doing so? You just need to go on Search Console. Okay, you go on Google Search Console, and then when you are inside here, you just type the URL right inside here, you press enter, and you wait. Okay, now the URL is not on Google since we changed the URL, as you remember, and we will just now request indexing. Okay, So the URL will be crawled by Google as soon as Google will pass by and stop by our website. Now it is just testing if our URL can be indexed, which is the case because we just created and it is placed as an indexable URL. Okay, let's wait a few seconds and perfect. The indexing request has been submitted. Okay, dismiss. Let's just wait now. We go back to our website and we can also use another tool which is inside Rank Math. We go here into the instant indexing here. You see Rank Math has an instant indexing tab. And if you do not find it, it means that you have to enable this into your dashboard and scroll down until you find instant indexing and just enable this. And this basically lets you ping the search engines as Bing and Yandex to tell them that your blog post has been published. In this case, I will just publish here my blog post, submit URL, and that's it. Successfully submitted one URL. And if you go to history settings, you see that this URL has been submitted to the instant indexing. And there is also an automatic feature, as you can see here. Each time I save my post, actually Rank Math does it for me automatically, so I didn't need it to do so. But I just wanted to show you that you can also ping here search engines like this. Save changes, and voila, we just optimized a beautiful blog post on our website. Make sure, of course, to make this post visible on your website. And let's also check our sitemap here to see if our blog post is visible. We can go and search for it right here. Where is it? Beautiful off-canvas mobile menu Elementor tutorial. Great. This is our optimized blog post. Great, it works perfectly. And when I pass with mouse over the images, you see this is the alt text, Elementor slide out of canvas mobile menu tutorial settings, you see? And then we have all the other stuff inside here. We have the links, internal links and external links to Elementor Pro. We have also links to other pillar content. This is a pillar content as I showed you before in the tutorial. So basically that's it. We just optimized perfectly a blog post. And now, after a couple of days from the optimization, I should go and test it out. So let's see if I copy and paste the exact keyword that is my focus keyword here of Canvas mobile menu Elementor, which I wasn't ranking for 2 days ago. Now let's see if I'm visible on the first page of Google. So let's paste it here on an incognito mode. Okay. I'm not the first, I'm not the second, I'm not the fourth, I'm not the fifth, I'm not the sixth, but I'm not here. Okay, yes, I'm here. This is good. Okay, but I hope that would be better. But yeah, it's a starting point. You see, let's try to write down off canvas like this with tutorial at the end. Okay. And here, okay, you see, here we start ranking quite interesting, because if you type in off-canvas mobile menu Elementor tutorial, which is kind of a good keyword here, you see that we are here. That's great. Beautiful off-canvas mobile menu Elementor tutorial, WP Roads. And you see that Google here is taking some content inside the article instead of taking the excerpt, but this is up to Google, so we do not have control about this. But this is great because we are in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th position. This is quite good. So for a blog post that wasn't there 2 days ago, it's kind of a great starting point here after all the optimization that we did. And if we want to optimize furthermore, we can add some bullet point inside the article, like you can see here in this blog post that has the featured snippet at the top of the search results page. And we can also add at the end of our post a kind of a FAQ section, which is very interesting. Like, for example, we can get inspired for all the questions that people ask when they search about off-canvas menu in Elementor, and we can place them right at the end of our blog post. This will help us to rank even better, and it's exactly what I will do. So in my case here, I will go inside my article here, and I will use the Rank Math FAQ schema to insert down here at the end of my blog post some common asked question about Elementor off-canvas menus. And this is also what you should do if you want to rank better. At the end of your blog post, you should add an FAQ section where you kind of reply to the most common questions about the topic that you're covering into your blog post. And the best way to find out about that kind of questions is to look for the people also ask question on Google, which is great. So basically we did it. We optimized the blog post. Of course, there is also some little bit more optimization to do, but also some time to wait because it's just a couple of days ago, and I need to wait at least 1 week or two to see if the blog post could rank even better. I need to share it on social media, and I need of course to optimize the content. And now we have a little bonus. If you have some embedded videos on your posts, you should optimize also the content of that videos to match the same SEO efforts as your blog post. Like in this case, you see here, my main keyword is off-canvas mobile menu Elementor tutorial. I should use the same or similar keywords in my video title. In my case here, the video title is a little bit different, so I will just go on and change it. So here I have just optimized my video. There are the same keywords at the beginning of the title of the video, and there is also some optimization for the secondary keywords. Like for example, slide out menu is a secondary keyword, and Elementor Pro pop-up menu is a secondary keyword. So here I have repeated all the keywords in the description of the video too, and this synergy can benefit, of course, the indexing and also the SEO ranking of my page, of my blog post. So now if I save here and reload the page of my blog post, I will find basically the same keywords of Canvas mobile menu Elementor tutorial also in my video. You see here, there are just the same keywords, and this will help me rank better. So let's cross fingers, finger crossed, and let's see what will be the history of this beautiful blog post. We'll come back here in a month or two to see how this is working. Thank you very much for following this tutorial. I hope that you found it useful and that your website is starting to rank on Google. If you want to drop me a feedback down in the comment section below, I will be more than happy to read it. And if you want any other Rank Math tutorial, for example, a Rank Math Pro tutorial or a Content AI tutorial, just drop me a line in the comment section below. Remember to like this video and subscribe if you like this kind of content. Pascal here from WP Roads. I wish you all the best with WordPress and hope to see you in the next video.